back to Uncomfortable Convos. It's your boy, the one with the scar face, your boy Scarface. And we're back with another episode. And I know you guys have been asking me to get guests. And finally, I got some guests. And I'm super excited for this one because we're getting a little mixture of a lot of mental disorders, or like we want to call it that. Just like all over the and then because she has DID, and we'll get into that too, and ADHD, which is Kaylee, if you don't remember her from the TikToks. And then she also brought her friend Chris, who I finally get to meet, and he is just gay or bi?
So I'd say I like gay, but bi, but more on the gay side.
Okay.
But then also ADHD, ADHD. So it's a whirlwind.
Yeah. And I'm super excited. That way we can get a different perspective on everything. And before we get started with guests, I love to play this game. It's called How Deep Will You Go? And it's not sexual. It's more of a, internal thinking, just to break the ice and get the ball rolling, right?
All right.
So we'll get into this one first. All right. And this goes, whoever wants to answer first. What motivates you in life? We'll start with Chris.
What motivates me in life at this point is to make the world around me better for everybody. So like me, myself, I'm in the life coaching realm, and I'm trying to help people. I specifically help with people coming through to their authenticity, figure out who they are and their life path, and trying through that, you make people more excited to show up to their day to day, to wake up, to like not impress their hatred onto others. So it's really enlivening to help others break free of their own blocks and to really and then infect others to be positive. So it's really cool. It motivates me to I've learned what I can do with people and affect in people by just talking to them and making them feel seen and just giving them some direction. And it really has shown some great things, like in a sense of making themselves comfortable with who they are. I feel insecurity breeds negativity, so I try to teach confidence, and so that people don't inflict their negativity onto others.
Yeah. And there's something also really fulfilling helping other people, and that's why some of this stuff, I like to help them. So being a life coach, I'm sure you get to see that all the time, as long as they listen.
No, I'm definitely in my building blocks of my career, of my, like I say, my brand, my empire that I'm creating. And a lot of it's I'm doing for just the feedback and the, what do you call it? The reviews,
yeah.
what do they call it? The people, they
Like,
give you the reviews and stuff. So I'm still new to it, and I'm such a giver that I don't charge a lot. So now I'm starting to be like, okay, I need a testimonial. I need a testimonial from you. I'm going to do film and this, and I've got probably 10 guys. I'm starting a community on school and all this stuff. And it's just been slow going, but it's kind of you just move forward with your passions and what you feel led to do. And it's all in giving back because, money has never made me feel like this has.
Mm-hmm.
Putting my creativity into something as well as helping people help themselves. It's been so rewarding. It's really, really cool.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that. That's actually really cool. Life coach. But again, like you said, there's a lot of people who will criticize you, be like, oh, here we go. How does he know everything? But it's just based off experiences.
Yeah, I don't share what I don't know. All I share is my experience and what I do know. I don't share opinions. I just share what I do in those situations, or what I would do. Everybody has a unique approach to what that is right for them. And we need to be confident and comfortable that we are okay in what we feel is right. We feel so insecure and led to compare ourselves to others, to feel the same things that others portray. But, sometimes we perceive what others are trying to give off, and they don't even feel that. They're just playing a thing. And so it just perpetuates this insecurity of, am I not enough? I can't fit the role. You know what I mean? It's kind of just being stop trying so hard. Just be cool with who you are.
I love that. What about you, Kaylee? What motivates you?
I feel like this is so cliche, but my son, I have an 11-year-old, and I don't know. It's when you are a parent, I can only speak for myself, but for me, when I'm a parent, there is just nothing worse than letting your child down, because my son, even though he's 11, almost 12, he's getting to that preteen age, but he just views me as this like goddess, like all-knowing
Superhero.
being. And so I don't know, it's just so crushing to think about ever disappointing him. So that kid has me busting my ass. He is very much a good motivator. So.
Which
I know that's so cliche, but
no, but like you hear that all the time. That
well, because if I fail, he fails.
You do right by him.
Yeah, because I just finished watching the Charlie Sheen documentary, and
that was really good.
Yeah, the reason one of the biggest reasons he got sober was because he saw that he couldn't really hang out with his daughter or like do things with his daughter just because he was always super drunk at that point. And he's like, I can't even hang out with my daughter without calling somebody to drive us somewhere. And so that really, and so it motivated him to get clean. And he's been clean for like 8 years, but his life is crazy though.
Yeah, having a kid is definitely, it is a mirror. So if you are not happy with what you're seeing, then time to fix something.
No, like you said before, like having therapy before you choose to have a child.
It's so important. Oh my gosh. It needs to be mandatory.
I see myself react to my dogs. I'm like, oh, damn, if that was a kid. You'd be scarred for life. You wouldn't be coming back loving me like a dog does.
I don't think people put enough thought into that because your childhood literally shapes your entire life.
Literally, your first 7 years is who you are.
Yes. And so I feel like people just like have kids to have kids. But yeah, that's a whole nother, we go on different rants, whatever. Just
that's the ADHD.
No, you're fine. You're fine. All right. So next one, this is level 2 is confessions. What do you do that you aren't proud of? Aren't proud of. What do I do currently that I'm not proud of, or what happened? Okay. The first thing that popped into your head. I'm sure something popped into your head and you just don't want to say it.
Well, I was thinking about what I've done in the past, but I've worked really hard on who I'm not today, who I could snap back to. But more so of what am I not? I've done a lot of work in the last, like since the beginning of this year. A lot's gone on. So it's like currently, I think distracting myself is what I'm not proud of. I'll distract myself with weed or with, just anything else, dogs. Like I just find things like I'm on a good path, but I could be putting more of myself into it, but I still find ways to distract myself because I get overwhelmed when I focus too much on one thing that I have to split my attention so I don't burn out. So then
it's very simple.
When I start burning out in one direction, I have to shift. And then I'll be like, it's been 2 days since I've really given this any thought, but I need to go back into it. So I don't like my escapism. I'm not proud of my escapism, but it's better than what it used to be.
Yeah. No,
much better.
And
I was going to literally say the same thing. Yeah.
And I'm glad you noticed that, like, and you're aware of that and that you're trying to be better. Cause there's some people that like, there's nothing wrong with me. Like,
you know what? So many people honestly know it, but they won't admit it or do anything about it. The first hurdle is seeing yourself. And a lot of people see themselves, I've learned, but they won't admit it or they just dismiss it or they won't like sit with it. And they're just like, well, I don't know what this is about, but I'm still unhappy doing this thing. But I don't know. I keep getting bugged by this thing on my shoulder kind of thing. It's really funny. It's like the more you talk to people, the more people are very aware of themselves. They're very aware. They just deny those parts of themselves and keep trudging. Yeah, they keep trudging along. It's really baffling. Yeah. And it's like, wow, okay. Like I see it maybe because of the struggles I've gone through and they just haven't gone through it. So they don't see themselves. So I see it and I'm just like, well, this is probably what you need to work on. Well, I don't know. And then they go into victim mentality and it's really crazy.
What about
mine was going to be very similar. The escapism, bed rotting. I will just rot in my bed if I didn't have a child, I don't think I would leave the house. Honestly, it's so bad. But that's always when like my mental health is not doing well. So I'm getting out of it. I'm here. But yeah, that's like one thing I really need to get a hold of.
It's just the bed rotting.
Yes, just like the escaping reality, scrolling on TikTok, and just wasting away in bed.
I wish I could do that. I still have ingrained in me from that first childhood that if you're doing nothing, you are nothing. And it's like, you have to be a productive member. I literally wake up out of like at 4:45, even before my alarm. And my body's like hot. And it's like, I'm so uncomfortable. Yeah. At 3 a.m., 4 a.m., we're like up. And it's like, I just have to get out of bed. I have to be active. I have to go do something. It's like my body won't let me even relax. And never in my life have I been able to sleep in. It's like my body starts waking up and I'm like, I gotta get out of bed. And I don't know if that's like an ingrained thing or it's my ADHD cortisol thing. Yeah, it's probably all the above. But trust me, living with like ADHD and autism, it's a wild ride. You don't know what you're getting. And if you're not regulating yourself all the time, you're like a pendulum. You don't know which angle you're going to get, either dissociative you or attack the problem head on you from a skewed perspective.
Okay. I love that. Okay. No, I love those answers.
And that brings into dating us very complicated.
Yeah.
And we are not for the faint of heart. Let's put it that way.
That's why like I'm already like in my head is like thinking of questions to ask, like just based off these. And these are random too.
This is just the icebreaker.
I know. See, we are very open books. It's just like if you probe the right things.
Yeah, I just need someone to ask it.
There you go. The archive is open.
All right. So this one is called Level 3 Getting Deep. What is the most painful thing you've been told?
Well, mine's short and sweet. That I'm too much. And that it's led to me, actually, my chronic cannabis use is because I've ingrained in myself that I'm too much. But I was put on medication at like 8 years old. And so like Ritalin. And so for my whole life, I've thought I was too much, because even from childhood, it's like every time I was hyper, because I was a crazy kid. I get it. I was acting before thinking, and my parents were just like, we need peace. We have 3 kids. And I was the oldest. So it's like, I get it. Every time I was hyper, I got told, take your medicine. Like my mom could hear me, so I screamed at her house. So I was always told that I'm not good being myself. So I always need to tone myself down. So if I'm off of my Adderall, I need to be on something that also calms me down. So I smoke a lot of weed because I feel like I'm too fucking abrasive without it. And I did like a couple weeks ago without it for a week. And I was just attacking everybody on the internet. I'm like, why? Because I was trying not to attack people in real life. So I would get up and just rage people on the internet. I'm like, you fucking bigot. Like
the smallest little thing.
No, it's not even small. It's things that I shouldn't even have to put my energy into, because they're just doing their thing, even though they're wrong in my sight. But, you know, I try to like avoid that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I try not to pigeonhole myself in what I get for information. I like all sides. But at the same time, I get very enraged when it's humanity based. It's like humanity should not be a politicized issue. And I don't understand why it is. Like humans are equal, end of story. Just let's talk about other issues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's so fucking ridiculous to me.
Yeah. And that's why I don't do politics or religion or anything on, because.
And like we talk specifically on humanity. It's like we are all equal. No one is better on each other. And that's from a mental health aspect. Like it doesn't need to be politics involved in it. But unfortunately, sometimes you do have to say, like, you know, you're not lesser than just because this group in charge thinks you are. You know, and it's empowering people to feel confident, even though the society is telling you not to be.
Then I don't know why people want everybody's opinion. Meaning, like,
I know some things don't need an opinion.
Yeah, I kept getting asked like about like certain things that were going on. I'm like, this is a relationship, intimacy, podcast, TikTok. If you want to talk politics, there's the pages. Like, go and look for them. I was like, they want to know, yeah, but what is your stance? My stance is I don't want to talk about it. Like, that's my stance.
And that's fair, because honestly, in today's day and age, like, even I will put a stance on there. I get teched from
all sides,
left and more left. It's like crazy. It's like not even all sides, because the right side won't talk when I do post anything. But it's funny how like I will get left, central left, and far left both argue with me. I'm just like, what the fuck? You guys are arguing against yourselves. Like, you're both on the same team. It's like, oh, how dare you believe in that leftist bullshit and blah, blah, blah. How are you not left enough? And I'm just like, whoa, no matter where you are, it doesn't matter, because there's always somebody to argue with. you know, but they won't tell you in your face. They won't speak that to you. They will hide that. They will never speak. They're probably the quietest person in real life, and they will chat. They will attack you in the DMs. I'm like, what? Like, I'm just speaking from a humanistic standpoint. We should respect each other, like, and understand that people are being disrespected. That's all, you know?
Like I totally agree, because sometimes I post a video and just some random people, they'll be like, say the most hateful thing. And I'm like, you could have just kept scrolling. Like,
It's gotten bizarre out there.
like,
Oh
it
my
really
God.
took you a lot more energy to sit there and talk, like, write out a comment.
And it's equal each side. Like, I just watch and it's like 50-50, just like blah, blah, blah. And then someone says something, then they get two people, then they get another two people from the other side. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just like, and that's why I have to take myself out of it. It's like, why are we pouring energy into things that aren't even getting things done? We're just
Especially-
fighting each other for no reason. And all this, the 1% is getting everything past us.
And then arguing on social media is going to get nowhere, because nobody's going to
And
win.
no one's going to change their opinion just
Yeah.
because of a social media.
And mostly
comment.
of it's tunnel visioned anyways. It's like you're only seeing your own people. Like, you're not, the other people aren't seeing you. So shut up.
Yeah. So that's why I try to keep, I was like, if you're here to talk about train wrecks and relationships, I'm your guy.
And honestly, I feel like this day and age, like, I'm sure more people are questioning, how do I get into a relationship than the horrible relationship I've been into. People are too afraid to start off. They can't commit. Like, everyone ghosts before they even get to that stage.
Committing, just the type of scandalous cheating questions that I get. There's so much married and cheating people that I get now. Like,
Oh, there. I don't like. I'm sorry. I know you guys are dating. I know you're in a relationship. I really like the percentage of relationships where someone hasn't cheated. I don't know if it exists. Maybe like 1%.
well, the thing is, like I mentioned
Like
on
nowadays with
look-
social media and stuff.
like what I mentioned is, like, everybody can window shop, because when you're walking down the street, if you see someone who's good looking, you'll be in your head, that's a good looking person. But then you just keep going. That's it. You're in a relationship. It's the people like, I wonder if she has an Instagram, or I wonder if he has an Instagram. Let me go see. Let me go ask her for her Instagram. Like, that's the difference, you know, like,
Because that's the intent to cheat.
yeah, because like I said, why would you get mad at somebody for walking down the street? Like, you know how some people, one of the questions I get is like, why does my man keep looking at girls? I was like, well, was he walking down the street? Like, people walk by, do you want him to look down the whole time?
Well, you
you
see,
know?
this,
So there are levels to that.
no, I want to address that. Like, each of us, both sexes, look at the other sex, no matter what. You are attracted to what you are attracted to. By demonizing that behavior, you're literally demonizing human nature. And you're already setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself for cheating, because now he's ashamed or she's ashamed, because men do it the same way to women. Like, oh, you looked at that guy. Oh, you seen it. I seen you talk, or you talk to him. Like, it's the same way. It's insecurity. And now you're breeding that insecurity on both sides. And now that person cannot be themselves already. They have to mask themselves. They have to hide themselves, because you are not comfortable with them showing interest in the same body type or the same type of person. But yet you're taking that person home. You're like, and that insecurity breeds people to cheat, I feel.
And then there's, like she said, there's levels to it, because
Yes, I will say there are some times where it is just flat out disrespectful, the way, like, if you're holding hands with someone and they're just like checking someone out.
yeah.
But if it's just like a glance or something, like, there are some people that get psychotic about any sort of eye contact. That's crazy.
Yeah, and there are people like that. That's the thing. Like,
Right.
there are people. That's why on a lot of these, I was like, well, I need a little bit more context. You can't just say he was looking at her.
Are you
I'm
being blatantly disrespected while he's looking at her?
Yeah.
There is a level, you know, but if you're like, oh, and you're like, oh, and then you're like,
'Cause
I didn't mean to, just like, you just caught that in my corner of
yeah,
my
because
eye.
there's a difference between, like, somebody's walking by and you're like, quick glance, and then there's a difference between looking and then just like locking on that person.
And then I think that as your partner, you should understand that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Right.
That if you are not down for that behavior, you're not going to change that behavior.
Yeah.
You need to learn to move on, because he will consistently, or she will consistently be that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what we have to also learn, that when we see that kind of behavior that we do not accept, we need to move on, because we cannot change people.
That's on
People, yeah, you can present it and they can say they will change. And if they do, great.
Yeah.
Present it. But if they do not change, you need to move on and respect yourself because they are just being themselves. And you cannot come into a relationship and say, no, you got to change all that. This is not who I want to be with. No, you got to change all that. No, that's so disrespectful in my own sight. Like so many people get into relationships thinking that they are going to be who they envision. And then they hold them to these molds and it's so unfair. And especially straight relationships. I think gay relationships, we already have this outward that we're the black sheep, like no one's looking at us. We're doing our own thing. So who cares what we're doing? You know, and even within it, people are, I can get into this further. But I feel like within straight relationships, there's this idea of what you're supposed to represent in the relationship as a man, as a woman, that is precognition, like preconceived in you, that you've been ingrained to understand that this is your role, this is your role. You know, and thank God for this day and age where we are trying to be more open and like say, like, I enjoy this. And like, it's okay to be interested in these things because you're not alone. Honest to God, like the human experience is not unique. We're all going through the same fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Stop thinking you're some kind of puzzle piece that needs to be met because honestly, there's like 3 things you need to make sure, like your loyalty, your love, and looks. Like you're attracted to that person. You know what I mean? Like you're attracted to that person.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like, if you're always attracted to that person, no matter what the age, like you will always be attracted to that person, you know?
Yeah, I did a TikTok the other day, and like I didn't care if they saw it low of me, but I said I've never seen a girl that wasn't attractive, and me be like, let me go hit her up, like let me go ask her out. It's always been somebody that I've been attracted to, you know, like oh I like the way she looks, I'm gonna shoot my shot, right? It's never that's why I'm like, to me it's smile, like that's what really
it's vibe,
gets me.
it's aura,
Yeah.
it's swagger, like it's all.
And I said. And yeah, sometimes that comes down to physical traits. Like I'm just gonna
But
be
that's
honest.
the first thing you notice.
Yeah,
So of course that's going to be something that
plays into it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why I said because they're like, would you ever get with a bigger girl, or what do you think? I'm like, there's plenty of guys who are with bigger girls, and there's nothing wrong with that. I was like, because again, if I see somebody and I'm attracted to them, I'm gonna say something, right? But if I'm not gonna be like, well, I'm not attracted to her, but I'm still gonna hit her up. Like,
But you know what? You're not going to say no because you don't know where that personality and vibe is ever going to go because you're like, you know what? I can't say that I wouldn't ever be attracted to one. I just have not met one yet.
Yeah.
Or, I've not been running in those circles,
see,
but vibe is everything. Like personality is everything. Like you can literally be like a 6 in looks and then you got like cocky like a 9 and you're vibing and funny. Like you automatically go up and I'm like, yeah, whatever you say.
But I'm glad you brought that up because what I said to that, I was like, most of the time when you meet somebody, you're seeing them for the first time. You don't know their personality, So like that's why I'm like, to me, does it have to be physical? For the most part, yeah. When guys go out to the club, the bar, or out, they're looking for an attractive girl that they deem attractive, right? They're not like, I wonder what girl, oh, she has a great personality, I'm going to go over there to talk to her. That's why I'm saying, like, that's where it starts. Can it be personality? Absolutely. But I see that maybe, like, you've been maybe talking to this person for a while, and then you finally meet up, and you're like, well, I like his vibe, I like this. Not the greatest looking.
Is the looks. Because that's the
absolutely.
first thing you see. So anyone that says otherwise, you're lying. You're a big fat liar. But it's not everything, but it does play obviously a big part. You want to be attracted to the person you're with. Right?
Absolutely. And we'll get your answer. What's something that you've been told? Also, just try to talk into the mics when you guys are. Yeah, there you go.
Mine, I wasn't told it to my face, so I hope this counts. But I don't know if I want to say who. One of my exes, I caught him texting in his like friend group chat with all of his buddies, texting my like childhood traumas, making fun of them and laughing at them with his friends. And they were all like joking about it. And it was very vile. And I have never felt more betrayed, more like my heart has never like just broke in half.
Wait, he talks shit about you in his friend group?
About my childhood traumas, yes.
Yeah, that's like that type of betrayal right there. Because you're thinking you're
to the point where like these are severe traumas, and they were all laughing at it, making jokes. Somebody created like this is so stupid, like this little rap about it. And it's just so disturbing. When I was reading the messages, I didn't even get through all of them. I got through a couple paragraphs and I was like, I'm done with this.
But isn't it great? Isn't it great to understand projection?
Yes.
And understanding that people project and they make fun of others because they can't even start to unwrap their own shit, their own misery, their own trauma. So they're like, oh my God, look how fucked up she is. And really, it's like, when you point a finger, you got 3-point baggage, bro.
Because they're trying to make themselves feel better.
Oh yeah, everyone. When you learn that everybody projects, even yourself, every instant is projection. Anybody that talks to you, anyone that talks to anyone else, once you learn that that is their inside just spewing out, you're just like, oh wow, I see who you are as a person. I see how you treat others, how you respect others, how you view others, and you don't even need like the red flags are like you can know. I know somebody within a first meeting. Like I can see how you hold yourself, how you hold your eyes. Yeah, I know how you're holding yourself. And if you're insecure, if you're confident, if you're cocky, if you're trying to just get attention and who you are. And I can know if I want to fuck you with you or not in that first 5 minutes probably. But it's like when you're paying attention to those things. So many of us are so insecure and thinking about ourselves. We're so self-centered when we're insecure because you're not thinking about how other people are perceiving you. You're thinking about how you're perceiving yourself. You know, you don't even give these people a chance and you're just like, oh, do me. Oh, victim. Sorry, I get distracted.
You're fine.
I get off on tangents.
You're
But it's like, really, it's just like the red flags are always in your face. Stop thinking about yourself so much and just be in the moment and observe.
Yeah.
And you won't be down. You won't be you're so worried about, oh my God, I'm so lonely and I need to make this work and blah, blah, blah. It's like, stop looking inward for a second, look outward and you're going to see the problems right then.
How did you confront him about it?
I divorced him.
No, but the confrontation, like, because after seeing that, I'm sure
I did, and there was like excuses and gaslighting and whatever, so it wasn't worth much of an argument. But
even
I
seeing,
did confront him.
Yeah, even seeing that, somebody you felt you were confident to talk about certain things.
Well, that's why it takes a lot for me to truly open up to someone, trust someone. And so once I do, you're my homie for life. Like you are my ride or die best friend. And so for someone to not only have those thoughts, but then to share them with their friends.
And make fun of.
Yes. That was like, that was like worse than any cheating scandal, anything. Like that moment right there. It doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but like witnessing it, oh my gosh, I was shattered.
No, I would get it. Like if you had a phobia for a weird thing, like maybe, oh, she has a phobia for fake plants. She like freaks out. Okay, I get that. But this was
like about childhood abuse.
Exactly. Like
that's a weird thing to be joking about.
Yeah, like or telling other people about.
Like why? Like who cares? Why is it their business? Yeah, it was a whole. Yeah.
Oh.
So that like that.
So I wanted to also chat with you guys before I get into the questions that I have. Dating in 2025, right? Before I get into the questions and we dive into this, what has been like the biggest struggles for you guys dating?
I will say I am a very go with the flow type of person. I mean, I don't try to press for relationships. I just find myself in relationships. And I am a very relationship person and I grow through them. And I don't know, like, honestly, I've been very lucky. I'm dating a couple right now who has been together for like 5 years and it's been really beneficial for me and them. And it's allowed me to grow without the stress of having a one-on-one relationship. And I'm very happy I don't have to go out and look because I tried dating and it was just like, I lost my ex this year. So it was a lot. And I'm very fortunate for the guys that I do have. And it's just like, it really skewed a one-on-one relationship for me. And I've never known unconditional love until the situation I've been in. We're in I guess you'd call it polyamorous in a sense, but like, and open in a sense, but not really. We're very like a closed unit. But it's been interesting. Like, not having to deal with the riffraff of people not knowing who they are. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've learned is like, it in today's dating atmosphere, it took me an established couple that was looking for someone else to share their love with to find someone that was worth my time. Let's put it that way. Like everybody else just didn't meet the mark. Everyone's just like so lost. I don't know if it's a Phoenix thing or in general, like everyone doesn't know who the hell they are. They don't know what they're fighting for. They just are existing. A lot of people are cool with just existing and that's them, but that's not who I am. I want people that want more for themselves, you know, and a go-getter. So I want other people that are trying to be somebody, not just like work at this call center and that's going to be me the rest of my life. It's like, cool, that's not for me. Sorry. And I've already gone down that path of trying to make people mold them into my image or that I like, but that doesn't work. So it's just like, I don't know. I stopped trying. When you stop, what I've learned is stop trying, stop forcing things and work on yourself and just go to the things that work. The doors will open. Like people are so bent out of shape. Like I know we want to talk about how people are ghosting all the time and people will meet and have the most intimate romantic night of their life and then never see that person again. And that is true. It's like people are learning how to be authentic, but then I feel are being truly authentic to someone and bare their soul. And then they don't know what to do and they have to withdraw because then it gets real, too real.
Yeah, we have a fearful avoidant epidemic going on right now.
So, I mean, I got questions about your relationship, which we'll get into in a little bit, but what are some of the things that you have been struggling with dating-wise?
So I like completely wrote off dating. I think like after my last relationship, which we broke up almost 2 years ago, and I have not dated since, and I am very happy about it. I am very much at peace. There's just too many games. It's weird. It's gotten weird. I'm sure you hear all the different things. I don't know. I'm not against it. I'm not like completely closed off. If the right man or woman, they, them, whoever it is, if they come into my life and it works, then it works. But I am not looking for it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like there's so many people who are just out here playing games.
Just a waste of a life to just
and just messing with people's feelings and like that's why it's difficult with some guys because I get this question a lot, like do they know, because there's that, oh, I heard that guys know in the first few dates like if they want to be serious with this person. And what I say is like in the first few dates they know if they, not wife material, but if they want to pursue something
like potential
longer term. You know, or if this is just like, I'm just going to try to get.
They know where you rank on their roster.
Yeah. Like they'll know that fairly quickly. Because there's some people like, oh, he says, like, is it true that they'll know by the first date? I'm like, no, you just met this person. They might know like, hey, maybe after a meeting, I just want to hook up or I can see this going long term. You know, they'll know that. So just be aware of that. And you mentioned, I didn't know this, that you were in a relationship with a couple. So I know somebody back in Idaho, he's in a he's married to, and his wife is bi. And so in order to get her fulfillment and keep her happy, they tend to have a girlfriend, you know? So he has a girlfriend, she has a girlfriend. With you, are you dating both of them? Or
yeah, we all live together.
Okay.
So they had their house and then I just moved in with them. So it started out situationally. I needed a place to live and then the relationship kind of grew. And they were looking for someone because they work opposite schedules and it's actually become very almost like a familial bond. It's very interesting polyamory. Like it's like you can unconditionally love each other. You could be there for each other sexually, but it's not what it's about. It's more about the emotional like integrity of it. And I've never been in a more emotionally involved relationship until now. And I didn't think they would exist. And it's really interesting. I've never been in a situation where I was trusted and given the trust and not questioned ever. And still never. It's so crazy. Now we're a year into it. And it's been very eye-opening and it's showing me what could be. And if it was ever to be another one-on-one relationship in the future, you know, there's so much more I would require out of somebody that I don't know if most people could ever meet.
Okay. Well, because I know everybody's relationship is a little different. Are you guys can you just hang out with like that one person without the other person?
Well, we all live
Without-
together.
and,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what do
We
you
both
do?
have time where we have like each other's time, I guess.
Okay.
Like, so like they hang out, me and one, me and the other. It just works that way through scheduling.
Does nobody get jealous? Like maybe he's spending a little bit more time with you, or like how
They're
come
both
not?
really chill.
Yeah,
Okay.
everybody's
They're so
super
sweet.
chill.
Mhm.
Like that's the thing. We all smoke weed, so it probably helps. Like everyone's really chill. Everyone's very confident in their own selves. Like we all stand on our own, you know, in a sense. So it's like not really a question of like, oh, whatever. It's like, yeah, you still live here. Like you're coming back here. And that's the kind of idea. And it's
Yeah,
just
'cause-
like that level of trust and like emotional, like maturity.
Yeah. Yeah, because I get that question all the time about what do I think about poly and those relationships. And I said if it works for them, kind of like, I'm glad you said it that way, because I always say if it works for whoever's in it, it's fine. They're happy. They're content.
And every relationship is
Yeah.
totally unique. And the reasons why they have a third is totally unique, you know, and a lot of them, it's very interesting because you see a lot of them fail. Because a lot of them are it's like with a straight couple, like trying to have a baby to fix their relationship. It's like, let's bring in another person.
Or get married.
Let's just, you know what I mean? Or like, it's like, let's break it outside of just us. It's like, well, you haven't addressed the problem that is failing you in the first place. So it's just going to continue and get more crazy.
Yeah, because some of the things that they say that, oh, I could never do it. And I'm like, that's fine. Just because you couldn't do it, they say they're a very jealous person or what's mine is mine. And I'm like, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And what you guys are doing, there's nothing wrong with that either. If you guys are happy, I'm like, why would you get mad at somebody else because they're happy in their relationship? Like,
No, because a lot of people don't understand the level of emotional maturity and trust and the amount of self-confidence. When you're confident in yourself and you know what you can get and you know what you deserve, you don't worry about what you're going to lose. Because if you do lose it, you know you can go get something better. I think that plays a big part of it. It's everyone's insecurity that really plays into who they are and how they express themselves. And if they were really fully secure in themselves, I'm sure a lot of them would too almost everything.
were you kind of hesitant at first to be involved in
You know,
this?
I trudged with I went in like weary, but at the same time, everything kept going well. And every time there would never be fights. And if things came to a head, we'd have calm, cool discussions and everyone understood. And I was just like, wow, this is how a relationship can be.
Mhm.
Like it really showed me what an adult relationship could be. Like that it doesn't have to be wrapped in jealousy and who you talk to. Because I've always been in those relationships where it's like, oh, well, you know, I'm not going to say that I've been the better looking of all my relationships because I do date attractive people. But at the same time, I feel like they've always had their own insecurity about me where I'm just like, I don't care. I know you're coming home to me. Like, I know who I am. So I never was like super insecure. So it's fine. It's really great to finally find somebody that like doesn't weigh that onto me.
Mhm.
You know, I always thought this is going to be part of my struggle in life, that people are always going to be insecure around me because you're confident about yourself and you're tall and you're big and you're white, you know, whatever, you fit the bill of what everybody wants because that's what they say, you know, and I do see it. Like, it's crazy. It's stupid. And like, it's so funny, like the way society angles things and then people like throw themselves at you just for being a certain way, even though they don't know who the fuck you are. It's so stupid. But that's a whole nother talking point.
No,
But I will say that leads into my dating troubles. People see me, they envision who I am and who I represent, and they may immediately place me into that box.
Mhm.
And when I don't meet that, it's like a year into the relationship, and then they become themselves, and they're not happy because I'm not who they thought I would be
You're
for
not
them.
a fantasy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's really annoying that it's like, wow, you fucking got me this far, and now I fucking wasted my time. Thanks. So I've gotten really like weary. I'm like, I see the red flags a mile away now. I see your body language, I see your eyes shifting, like because I've learned that I will be used as a piece of meat or a figure if you don't say otherwise, if you don't stand your boundaries, if you just allow it to happen, and then you waste up your time. It's
and
crazy.
how so many people, those boundaries become blurry.
Oh yeah.
Those red flags.
Well, because you
become
feel
orange
bad
and
because then they
green.
give you the life story and you don't want to hurt those people because you love them. And at the same time, you have to realize, wait, you allowed this to happen. You created this. You are now not their therapist. You are not.
Yeah, there's also those people that they think they can fix the person, like, and so
We all like to date perspective, like we all like to date promise, or like what's the word?
A project?
Not a project. But we all like to envision ourselves onto somebody and think of what they can do for us based on who they are and how we assume they are. And that's what I think the number one problem in dating is like we project ourselves onto these people, and we ask for them to meet our needs. And it's like, no, girl, go find somebody that meets your needs naturally. Stop forcing things. We love to force things, especially based on attraction. Like we initially attract each other, but you know what? Then you're forcing your internal world onto these people, and you're making this toxic environment of this relationship. You know, and we wonder why things don't work. It's because you're being too type A. Like, stop trying to control every little thing. You can't control other people. You can't control that. If you don't like them, if things don't match up from the get-go, get out.
Yeah, because if you try to change them, they're going to feel also a type of way too.
Well, yeah, it's like you got in this relationship because of, I haven't changed. I've been this way ever since day one. Why do you think I'm going to be somebody different? And that's unfair to ask somebody to change. It's like, no, they were the same person since day one. They never said they were going to be anything different, you know?
Yeah, because I remember my longest relationship, I couldn't do certain things because they were like, I knew when to be serious, and I knew when, hey, I thought I could just joke around. And then it would be like, why do you do that? Or why do you do that? And then I stopped doing it, and you could tell right away that I was slightly starting to change. Even like friends and family started to notice. They're like, he's like more serious now, you know, not as fun and like how he usually is. And so that's why, like, that's a big thing with me. Like with her, I joke around all the time, and it's like, it's fun. I can be me and not feel like, you know, like I'm changing myself, like I'm molding into something else.
Authentic.
And see, that's what brings me back to the whole looks thing. We see somebody that we think, oh, wow, this person's out of my league. And then you guys get along and you get together, and then they try to change you. And you're like, well, I have to change because I'm not going to do anything better. This is the best I can get. Like, we start internalizing these things. And so we change, you know, and it's like, no, that's the reality you've created for yourself. You think this is the best you can get. So this is the problem you're asking for yourself. I really feel that way. Like, when we limit ourselves, the universe tests us. Say, oh, is this really what you want? This is really what you think you deserve? And it's like, oh, wait, no, I'm stupid. No. But a lot of people just stick with it, you know, and they just live in misery, and they're like, no, and then once you're certain far in depth in, it's like,
it's hard to get out.
Owe it to each other. Like, I owe it. Now we're past an age of want and need or physical attractiveness. And it's like, you just get stuck in this foreverness. And it's like, really, from the get-go, if you just would have stood your boundaries and stated, hey, I'm not okay with this. And they said, oh, I'm not okay with this. Let's go our separate ways. And you could be somewhere very happy.
Yeah. And they'll even put a length of time they've been with somebody as an excuse. Be like, well, I've been with this person for 5 years.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, we've been together for so long. I feel like I owe it to this person. You know, I've wasted their time. They've wasted my time. It's like, we've wasted each other's time. They don't want to feel like those 5 years were a waste of time. And so they're trying to figure it like, oh, I'll just be like this because I don't want to feel like those 5 years. I've already invested.
Yeah, you're wasting more time like trying to.
Right. And don't look at it as a waste. Look at it as, I'm sure you learned
growth
so
period.
much. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's the thing. People are so afraid to let go because we're taught to build and hold on and save and accumulate that we're so afraid to like start over. And I think I personally, as an ADHD person, has started over or blown up my bridges so much to start over that I'm like, I'm not afraid of ever starting over. I know I will be successful no matter what happens because I know I can start over. And it's like, we all can do that. We just had to prove to ourselves that, like, I don't owe it to this person. I can start over. I can do this. You just got to put effort into yourself.
Yeah, and like that's why I'm glad she said that you've been single for like 2 years. When you've been single for a long time, there's a lot less BS that you'll take from other people. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and so you're like, I'd rather just continue being single because I don't like feeling like this. Like your red flag, like the red flags, you can get like how Chris is. You can just cut them off. Be like, all right, I'm done. Like I don't want to deal with this shit. I'm better off single. I don't have to worry about the shady stuff.
No, that's
Exactly.
yeah. And I will say, like, me personally, I'm a very dominant person. So I think I do grow through relationships. I don't want to be alone. So I have a relationship. And it's very interesting to look back. It's like I allow people to press on me, but really I always have the final say. And not everyone has that way. And I feel like I do
I'm
that.
a very dominant person.
Like
as
I'm
well.
unable to, I don't want to be single for long because I don't like to be alone. I like to have other people that mimic where I am in life and to grow and share my life with people. So I know a lot of people get lost in that, but and I even myself got lost in that. But if you have the wherewithal and the like self-awareness, like to see like who you are and that you're not being changed by others, but that you're helping
What's the longest you've gone being single?
Oh, that's funny. Like 9 months.
I thought you were talking about like a few, because there's some people who jump.
I've had
from
like
relationship
3
to
girlfriends.
relationship.
Right.
Since high school, I've had 3 or 4 girlfriends, and then I had 6 boyfriends. And now I have a couple that I'm dating. I've literally never been single that long because I don't want to be alone. So then I figure out who I am in that moment, and I find someone that it's honestly, I just go about my way, and then someone just kind of like stays around, and I'm like, oh well, let's just start dating. Like I like you. I don't like playing the single game. I don't like playing the anonymous game. I don't like talking about myself 10 times over the same.
Oh, the small.
I hate dating. I hate small talk. I can't do it. So that alone will make me just like stay like it's easy. Whatever's easy. I'm not forcing it. I'm very lazy in that respect. So I'm good at like saying, I like you. I'm attracted to this energy. I'm focused over here. Let's hang out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does, we're going to stick together. And that's really how I've dated. Like I don't go searching. I just honestly, with my ex, who was my strongest relationship, who's passed away now, was very interesting. I went about being single and not even 2 months into being single. We met randomly at a party and it was like magnets. It was crazy. I wasn't even looking for somebody. And it was like, oh, fuck, you were set into my life. Now I really do think he was set in my life to fuck shit up and change who I was. I'm fundamentally a whole different person now. From like let's see, it was 2021. So like in 3.5 years, we went from meeting to his passing to me getting over. Like it's so crazy. So how much can happen to a person in that?
What do you mean by fuck shit up?
So I will say people are sent to you for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And you are taught by the universe in lessons through people. And I really do think you have to be open. And if somebody catches your eye and like makes you light up, you need to investigate further because there's a reason you're supposed to meet. I really do think so. Whatever spiritual you believe. But I think like there's a reason we light up when we see certain people. And that's the reason why our relationships become so impactful in our lives, because we need to learn these lessons. And whether we can do it together or separate, it didn't work out for us, unfortunately. But it was things outside of my control and his control. And so, but it's really interesting. I am a whole different person than I was 2 years ago, where I thought I was about to get married. And now I'm over here. And, you just have to be accepting of life and open and just move with it.
Were you talking about because I'm trying to see if the fuck shit up was bad or good, because and then it just changes. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's such a mystery, and no one knows. And he was missing for 3 weeks, and showed up dead in a rock quarry, like naked thrown.
Dang.
Ridiculous. So who knows?
Okay.
It makes you really think about life, and puts life in perspective. And like wasting time and wasting energy on people that are not even giving it to you, that are just siphoning your energy. And it really shows you how to be there for the people that deserve it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you also don't want to get to the end of whatever relationship it is and then be like, I should have left a long time ago. Like, why did I stay for so long? And people do that so much, especially with these questions. They'll be like, I spent some of these people haven't been intimate with their person. The highest 25 years, they haven't even touched each other. And they're like,
what's the point of being married?
Because they've been a societal pressure of what they represent. They're from the outside, they're supposed to represent a united family that's happy, that's together
Because people
through
would praise them.
struggles.
Oh, 20, you guys have been together that long.
But everyone thinks those people are not they're not invalid. They think they're like perfect. They think that they can do no wrong. It's like everyone's struggling. Everyone's doing shit.
Yeah, everyone has their issues and stuff. But the worst thing you can do is actually nothing and not work it out. Like, I tell them, I get it. You get comfortable with your person, and maybe you went from doing it every day. Say you've been with somebody for like 7 years, you do it once a week, but you should let them know, be like, hey, we used to do it like 4 times a week. Why do we only do it 3? Because once you let them know, they'll be, oh shit, she did pay attention. Because some guys, they'll be like, oh, well, she doesn't need it every day. Okay, 6 days, 4 days a week.
Well, and can I put my opinion in
Yeah,
as a
absolutely.
woman? Also, don't just expect sex. Make it so the other person has something to look forward to. So do stuff throughout the day. Don't just wait till at night when everyone's tired and then you have a quickie and go to bed. To keep it alive, you have to still do things. Act like you're still dating the person.
Yeah, 'cause-
like not that you're like in the beginning stages when everyone's love bombing each other. You're doing little stuff that you want them to notice. Continue doing that. Never stop doing that. And I promise you the sex will always be there if you keep those little things up.
Yeah, I tell people all the time that intimacy doesn't start as soon as you slide it in. Right. It starts, say you guys went to dinner, flirt with her a little bit, flirt with him, like maybe slap her butt, like little things like that, because then it just leads to a better experience. Like
she'll be confident. She'll want to do more. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And the same thing happens in gay relationships. The same fucking thing. Like, it's not without. Like, I will say guys are horny and they'll do a lot of necessity. But at the same time, if they're not feeling appreciated or wanted, that's when they start looking elsewhere. Mm-hmm. Like, well, this guy's paying attention to me. Like, my DMs are full of people hitting me up because gays have no couth. They have no boundaries. Like, it does not matter. If you ever in a relationship, that is a challenge. Like, it's like, oh, let's see if I can get between them. Literally, it is. It's like ridiculous. There's no rules when it comes to being gay. It's like it's whatever your relationship is allowing.
Yeah.
But if that's the problem with gay life, I'm sure with straight life too, it's like there's always somebody in your inbox hitting you up, talking dirty to you, and you like feel compelled to respond in a similar manner because you're like, oh, they sent me this photo. I feel like I need to send them a photo. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't have to though. No. You don't need to send that photo. Like, but you like the external validation. But then
I think you like it more too, because I'm sure it's for the same because for straight is if you're not getting that from your person,
you need the validation because you're not being validated internally by your.
And the moment somebody else gives you just a little bit, you're just, well, that kind of felt good. He makes me feel wanted.
Yeah, and most of the times it's not even people that you would choose if you were single.
No,
it's who's giving you.
It's who's available at the time.
Giving you what you need, the support that you need in the moment, and then you're like, oh my god, I went too far. And it's like, well, this person was giving you what you wanted and what you needed. It doesn't mean that you ever wanted to be with that person. It's just like they showed up to show you what you can have.
Yeah, and that's why I usually tell people too is take some time after a relationship because the next person could be giving you just those feelings. You're in love how they're making you feel, but you're not in love with them.
Exactly. We lose a lot of who we are through a relationship, especially if one's going to break up. We've probably lost a lot of ourselves and who our individuality was. And we've lost our shine because we've had to dim down or vice versa. Like you've gotten very jaded and angry and you do need that space to like fucking breathe and find yourself again. And it's like, who am I today, 5 years later? Yeah. I'm not who I was at 25 and now I'm 32 or whatever, and I have to understand who I am. If I jump right back into somebody, I always guarantee it, you're going to find the same problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you didn't do, because you haven't done the work.
Yeah. And you're not going to heal your problems. You're going to run into their problems and then you haven't fixed yours. And I know so there was something that we talked about last time, which was crazy because I've never known somebody that had DID You want to explain what that is?
Yeah, so I'm obviously not a mental health professional or a doctor, but I'll explain it what I experience, my experience. So DID, what it stands for is Dissociative Identity Disorder. So it's a personality disorder. I have that along with BPD, which is also a personality disorder. They have a lot of similarities, but then some differences. But the DID, what makes that so almost unbelievable, like it's such a weird diagnosis. It sounds like it's completely made up. And I don't want to butcher any facts, so I would recommend everyone look it up for yourself. But basically what happens is, so no one is born with DID. It's a disorder that happens as like a product of long-term trauma. So usually that means a lot of times, not always, but childhood trauma, because it has to be something that occurred multiple times for an extended period of time. And basically, I guess your psyche shatters at some point into different fragments. And each of those fragments have their own. This sounds so crazy.
No,
it
this
sounds so
is
crazy.
great.
Has their own personalities, likes, dislikes. Sometimes they're different sexual preferences. I mean, it's all me, but it's like slightly different versions of me, if you will. And to like just like a normal person, you probably wouldn't necessarily realize it. Unless you were with me like every day, unless you were like dating me, lived with me type thing. But even then, it's not like, have you seen the movie Split?
Yes.
Yes, it's not. There are some people where it is that extreme. But the majority of people that have DID, it's not that intense, that extreme where it's like a completely different person. But there are like slight little shifts.
Do you notice them now?
Now that I'm aware, I do, but usually not until after. So it's like when I'm looking back, I'll be like, oh, like sometimes I get embarrassed. I'll get like cringed out by something I post because it's almost like a couple hours later, I'll look back and I'll be like, ew, why did I post that? Like, that's not even me. But then a couple hours later, I'm like, oh no, I totally agree with that.
That's definitely no divergent thing for sure. I'd be diagnosed if I actually divulged those things.
So yeah, it's bizarre when you explain it. I swear it's not as bizarre.
Because it flips in the moment.
Yes.
It's like emotionally based. Because if I could spread on it, like I will even get heightened and like post online. And then literally after the episode is over, you come down and you're like, wait, no, delete. Why did I do that? Why was I so heated to talk like that? And now I'm like, oh, no. I don't want to come across that way. Yeah, it is. It's like you emotionally switch in and out of these personalities. It is kind of crazy. I never talked about it because I'm like, well, it's like a thing. Like I grew up with ADHD diagnosed at a young age. So I was given Ritalin. I was like, this is supposed to help me. And I, like, if you have any problems, then what I don't know. Like this is supposed to help. Like any problems past that, you're just fucked up, I guess.
Right.
And it becomes like an internal battle that you're just like, okay, well, these relationships see a side of me that is unholy. Like you start, like I will read you to filth and make you feel like nothing. And it's like, after the whole thing, I'm like, I'm sorry, I just did that. And it's like, you can't come back from those things that you say. It's so embarrassing. And it's like, I'm like, I don't know why I let that come out of me. And I don't know why I felt the need. It's because you felt this betrayal. It's like as soon as you feel this instance of betrayal, you have to destroy the person. You have to demean the person. That it's very along with the same lines of like narcissism. Mm-hmm. It's like you have to save the ego because now you feel you were vulnerable and someone stepped on that, and now you have to show that you are not weak. You're not weak. I allowed you to see this because I allowed you to, not because I am weak. You know, and then you have to put them in their place almost, right? And it's like, and then you do it and you're like, okay, I'm sorry.
It's shameful, yes. And
it's so much shame that comes from it, but it's like you can't come back from it. It's ruined a lot of my relationships.
Same.
because those people stick with that idea of what you've told them, and they can't come out of that because that's its own trauma. And it's very like,
well, especially if you said something pretty hurtful.
oh yeah, but you
disrespectful.
can't stop it. It's
Yeah.
like
No, once you get going.
it comes out. So I personally have learned to like, if I get heated, I have to walk away because if I try to dissolve if I try to help dissolve it, and then you say things that trigger me, and now I'm in it, and I'm heated, and now I've let loose. Like, I promise you, I will say things to you that no one's up. You've only thought to yourself, and it's like come to truth. Because that's the thing with ADHD is like we watch and we build case profiles on everybody. We notice everything and we put it away. And even if it doesn't bother us, we keep it for a rainy day. And then all of a sudden, as soon as you trigger us, it's like, blah, 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 here comes a whole case file spewed against you like I'm a detective, like you were just in a murder, and I'm going to make it spin it that you just killed this person. And that's what literally you do. And then as soon as it comes out, you're like, I'm sorry. And you catch yourself, right? Is that what I'm talking about?
Usually I have to fall asleep and then the next day
Yes.
wake up almost as if I'm like hungover. It's like I don't remember the full
It used to be that, but I used to smoke weed as soon as now that's why I smoke weed. As soon as I started getting hyphy or like, I was like, why are they doing this? Blah, blah, blah. I will like go hit something. I'm like, and then it's like a whole new person comes out and like, Chris, it's okay. You're so stupid. Like, why? It's really your light and dark side fighting. You want your light side to shine and be that innocent child that's vulnerable and available and creative and expressive. But then that dark side that you've had to crack open for that child to shine is there watching every moment, waiting to attack anybody that's going to attack that child. It's really weird.
My psychiatrist explains it like that. She calls like that version of me my attack dog.
It's our shadow self.
Yes, and that was created to protect your inner child.
Because we grew up not being congruent with everyone else, always being the outcast, like not thinking like everyone else just expects us to. So it's like you become very your own guardian.
Do you guys, since you guys have this, when's like the normal time period, or when do you guys tell the person that
you don't know? It happens instantaneously. A lot of times it's like I have to keep myself fed and my blood sugar high. So like I try to eat every couple hours, high protein. But if my blood sugar drops, my attitude will just snap.
No, but do you tell them beforehand? Like,
you don't know. You don't know till you're in
about
it.
the diagnosis?
Yeah, like that you have that this
I
may
have,
happen.
but at the same time, you're not like, it's like.
They don't believe you until it happens.
Yeah, because I think there's like almost like a fetish nowadays where guys, I'll get into that.
We hold it back as much as we can, as long as we can. But once you get like a year into it, it's like that long time where you just can't hold, like if you're living with somebody, it's usually when I wake up in the morning, you cannot talk to me. Like I will get up at 4:45 in the morning, be very productive, very go-getter, but that's my time. Like if you're up, all of a sudden I'm like, why are you awake? What are you doing? Like, why do you need to wait? And it's like an unmasked time.
Yes. So I feel like there's almost like a fetish for crazy girls where guys like fetishize, like, oh, I want a crazy girl. I want my girl to be crazy. And I think in their heads, they have a different view of what crazy is, because if they see real crazy, 9 out of 10 times they literally run away. And so I have gotten very good at, when I date people, I choose very emotionally intelligent people. So I know when the time comes where they will see that side of me, because it will happen.
They're more understanding.
They will be more understanding. And I do warn people, like not like on a first date type thing, but if we were like in a serious relationship and like we're open and talking about stuff, then like I am very open and honest about that, because there are certain triggers that they need to be aware of. There are certain protocols, like if I am splitting, which is what it's called, like when you just almost like borderline blackout from rage. There are certain things that I need the other person to help with. And so it is a conversation, but I have never had a bad experience having that conversation, because I'm very, very picky with who I really let in my life.
Yeah.
Like that close.
Yeah, because I mean, I agree. You have to choose the right people because you could tell somebody, be like, "Oh, this is what happens," and they'll be like, "Yeah, whatever."
Exactly. That's how it
And
is. I'll be like, I'm smoking weed because I'm really pleasant now. And I'm like, if you see me without it, it's pins and needles. Watch out. Like, and they're like, oh, ha, ha. And I'm like, trust me, it's not that I want to be this way. It's like, I know who I am. And really, it's unresolved trauma.
Yeah.
And the more I've worked through it, the less I've been like that.
Yeah.
And it's like when we have unresolved trauma that had to be our own savior, we will be that person. We are observing everything in the room. We are watching everything. It's like we let you think you're in control. You're never in control. We let you think you're in control, but really we're always observant and 2 steps ahead.
Yeah, because then once they finally do see that side, I'm pretty sure it makes some people run away. They're just like, yeah, okay, they're a little, because it's different actually.
Honestly, a lot of people,
experiencing
like we are most engaging than anybody else you'll probably ever date. We'll be the most extroverted, best lover, best everything. And so a lot of people get stuck with us.
It's a
And then
trauma bond.
And
turns
then
into a
we are
trauma
trying to fix ourselves in our relationship, but they're not fixing themselves because they're traumatized and they're just stuck. And it's very interesting and stuff that you only become aware of once you go through it.
Yeah, you can't. It's really hard because you can't necessarily work on certain triggers when you're single. So, like, now I'll be like, oh, I'm healed. Like, I'm all better. But then the second I get into a relationship, there will be something that triggers me. And so you almost have to do your healing in a relationship and you almost have to work together at it. So you have to find a partner that is willing to emotionally invest into you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'll say I found with this couple. Like they both, I guess, having 2 people and they can split it. And I was like,
but I noticed that they're so, like, especially for men, they're just very down to earth, understanding,
loving and caring.
empathetic.
And just like, yeah, I didn't know people like this existed. Because a lot of people do idolize us in a sense. Like, I don't want to toot our own horn, but in a sense, like, we bring a lot to the table, you know? And in a sense, like, it's not just like money, it's like a whole life experience. You know, you're never going to be bored with us. That's the thing. Like, we'll never allow us to be bored. There's always going to be something to happen. But, you know, you want somebody that's engaging. You have to be ready to take all that comes with it.
Yeah. And they have to be, willing to accept that too. So the guys that you're dating, do they have ADHD or any?
I would say that maybe they're on the spectrum in the sense that one's on the autistic side and one maybe a little ADD-ish. But he's more, we would call neurotypical. But the autistic one I definitely get along with in a sense that, like, my overstimulation moments where I can't be around people, where I'm like, get away from me. Like, I want to be alone sometimes. And I don't want even someone just present because I feel like I'm being watched. Mm-hmm. And he gets the same feeling. And it's like great to share in these like cat-like experiences where you're like, I've had enough of people right now. I need to decompress. But at the same time, that's where ADHD is. It's like, I'm ADHD. It's like, I need to go be expressive and talk to people. And I come alive when I'm interacting with people and I get the energy from the people around me. But at the same time, it's like, I need to be around no one for a long period of time as well.
You need to flip the switch off, but completely off.
Yeah.
So I have a question, especially since we were talking about that. How do you know that you actually like someone compared to actually hyperfixated on them?
Ooh. I like that you added the word hyperfixate because, yeah, that makes it hard.
Yeah, because I will say when I go through my dating phases, you got about 2 weeks. It's from meeting to wrap up. Meaning, like, I meet you, probably a weekend, we start talking, and then the next week we've hung out a couple times, and then I'm over you. That's how I know. If you make
same, I have like a 2-week window.
If you make the 2-week window past that, then I'm like, oh, all right, it's somebody I can fuck with. Like, otherwise, if I've already like weighed out everything and seen you and asked you the questions and been making a file in my mind, and it's like, all right, and then I just stop. I kind of ghost. I'm not ghoster in the sense I won't respond. I just phase out how intensely I respond. In the sense, be like, yeah, you know, I'm just busy and blah blah blah, and just like, obviously, I pulled back. Now I've gotten more upfront and I'll tell people, but a lot of gays don't like you to be, a lot of men don't like you to be upfront into why you don't like them, because then they get really egocentric and they be like, well, you're a fucking slut. And I was like, whatever you got to say to make yourself feel better, bro. Like, it's really funny. It's just like so many guys just self-implode when you tell them about themselves. So I just kind of like be like, just not feeling it. Sorry. If you want, but if they ask me for what's up, I will tell them.
No. And I think it's slightly different. I'm sure it's different for girls. You guys want to know, correct? Like,
Want to know what?
You want a full feedback in how you're perceived in your date.
Instead of just getting ghosted.
I personally do. I can only talk for myself. I personally do, because I'm like nosy about that. I want to know like how you perceive me, whatnot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was just curious, because I'm glad you brought that up, that guys are like that. It's their ego. Like, guys have huge egos.
Well, that's guys' all downfall. Like, even gay guys, like, they're so egocentric in a sense. They're like, no one's gonna ever match my specific puzzle piece because I'm so unique. It's like, bitch, stop thinking you're the God's gift to earth. Like, you're not.
It's so easy to hurt our egos. That's the crazy part too. Is like,
because we allow it. We allow the buttons to be there. We're like, men are so fragile. Like, I was that person, and I just like stop taking things as like things about me. Nothing's about you. It's about them. Once you learn that, you stop thinking like, oh wait. Then you start hearing people talk about themselves to you, and it's like literally you just hear them spewing their inner thoughts, and you're like, oh, okay, I see exactly who you are, like what you pay attention to, and all that stuff. And guys, like, sorry, I got distracted. But guys are very ego sensitive, and I think it's because we're taught to be these breadwinners, to be these big guys, like not complain, and to just like not be in touch with their emotions. So when their emotions get triggered, they don't know what to do with it, so they just cut it off. Like, bye.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I had a buddy who his girl left him, but he was like, well, because he was treating her bad. And then he was like, well, she was a bitch anyways. And I'm just like,
never can they self-reflect.
Yeah. I was like, clearly it hurt your ego that she left you. So now you have to figure out a way to make her, like, belittle her. Like, it was her fault.
It's so funny when you see those people that are not self-aware and they complain about those things, and then they get themselves in this relationship that's far worse than they were. And you're just like, and they don't see it. And they're just like, it's great. I'm like, okay, I see what you got yourself into, and it's your own fucking fault. And I see you hurting, and you're not willing to admit it because you're just like, no, this is what I asked for.
So do you say the same thing about hyperfixating on, you have that 2-week window-ish?
I never like firmly officially put a 2-week thing on, but naturally it's always a 2-week. It's always 2 weeks. That's so crazy. Yeah.
That's when I kind of like this person.
I can usually know right away. Not where I'm like, oh, like, let's date right now. I'm in love. But I'm a huge like personality and vibes person. Again, not to be cliche, but I will know within the first, honestly, like 30 seconds of just being in your presence. Even you don't even have to speak, but just being in your presence, I can usually get a feel for if I want to pursue you or if I'm not interested. Even if you're attractive, I can still feel like whether or not you're worth more.
But has those feelings bit you in the ass before?
I mean, obviously I'm single, so like I've gone through breakups, a divorce. But I never look at past relationships as, I used to look at them as a waste of time, but now I don't, because I have learned so much, have grown so much. I've had great times with all of my exes. Yes, we've also had bad times, but I've had plenty of amazing times. So I never look at it as like, oh, that bit me in the ass, or I wish I never met you. Never, but like, it has bitten me in the ass.
If you're self-aware enough, you can look back and say, oh, wow, I learned so much through this one. And so you've learned so much through each relationship. And I feel like a lot of people that are perpetually single are too afraid to deep dive and get their feelings hurt, or to start encroaching upon a lot of their traumas because they are triggered by people. And so that's why I feel like a lot of, gay guys, I can speak for specifically, will stay perpetually single. And they blame other people for not matching them when really they're just too guarded. you know, and I think a lot of people will be that way. And I don't know, like in straight relationships, from what I see, you know, there's a lot of societal pressures, you know, get a family, build a family, you know, go from there.
The societal pressures, they force people to fast track the dating, get married, have a kid. And then all of
Especially
a
age, when
sudden,
age
they're
comes
like,
into it for women. No, I get it. You're like 38 and you're like, I need a baby now. And then you just start seeing people like get out of relationships. And then within a year, they have a child in another relationship. And I get that. You know, that's why I think gay relationships are very different in a sense. We don't have a time limit. We're not trying to have kids. And you know, we do have kids. You both got to be, you're probably going to be in your 40s and you got to be well to do because you got to pay for all that shit. You know, you don't just get one. But and I think that a lot of straight relationships are built around that societal pressure of building a cohesive family, building those children, like,
especially when you add religion and stuff to it as well, it pushes it even more.
mm-hmm. But when you're a black sheep and you're already your unique self, everyone's like, I'm a unique masterpiece and I only deserve such. And it's like, bitch, you don't even know how to deserve like a basic person. Like you have so much like a basic level person that's not as intricate as you think you are in a sense. You know what I mean? Like you need somebody to humble your ass and teach you that we're all here looking for the same wants and needs. Like in a sense, like we all need love. We all need compassion. We all need to be seen. You know, and everyone thinks that, no, I need someone that likes house music and likes to go out on weekends, but also likes to stay in on Fridays and also likes to go to the farmer's market, but doesn't like to party too hard, but maybe likes to do Molly every 3 months. And I'm just like, oh my fucking God. Like you're literally just building a wall for yourself to connect with somebody. You're like, no, I cannot connect with somebody. And it's, I think, a lot of insecurity and
you're
being
already
hurt.
preparing yourself to fail like in that relationship with all these requirements.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you said that you learned a lot of things, because I always say, especially on these TikToks and stuff, is I like to date somebody who is older because they're more mature.
Not always.
True, but have experienced life, gone through breakups, gone through ups and downs, been through relationships.
I love to hear it. Normally men are like, I love to date younger, so I love to hear it.
And so because I want somebody who's gone through that and it's not their first time going through something like this. And even the conversations are a lot more mature. A while back, I think I was 30 or 31 at the time. And this girl lied to me about her age. And we started talking, but right away she said she was like 24, 25. She ended up being 21. But I could tell right away with just the way she was talking.
Well, the immaturity, you hear it in them.
She started with like, most people tell me I'm mature for my age. And I'm like,
oh yeah, that's like what
that sounds
teenager
very,
would say.
very teen. That's why like right away I was like, oh, that kind of didn't sit too well with me. And just the conversations that I would have with her. And I'm like, and then the huge red flag is telling me that she was older than what she really was. I was like, no wonder. I was like, you're super immature. So, but that's why I always say, like, I like to date somebody who's like been through breakups. Is
for
older,
sure.
Experienced life and has done stuff.
Because you can be 28 and fully experienced too.
Yeah.
You know, but I've also I've dated older than me, like 7 years older, 10 years older. And they are also can be jaded and stuck in their ways. Yeah. And then everything that's PTSD in their life, they put through a lens onto you. And it's like, come on, I'm not that person. I know you've been through life. Like, that doesn't mean all life is shitty. You know, you do get those people that get like, just like, oh, I know what this is going to be about. And they just think they know. And it's like, no, your negativity is spewing on to what, like the finality of like the future. You don't know that. And that's what I've experienced with a lot of older people. Like, yes, wisdom comes, but then they also like
the jadedness. I like that you added that.
The jaded, like stubbornness.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question, because I know you guys are a little, because I don't think I have ADHD, you know, like everybody, I said one time, I think I have a little bit of ADHD. And they got really upset that I said that. And
well, society in which we are, in which we act, is like telling you to consume, next, quick. So it can create symptoms of ADHD. And that's what we talk about too. It's like, people are like, oh, is that part of me? It's like, no, but if you can understand and that resonates to you. You can understand how to maybe work with yourself. Like if your attention span is getting away from you, maybe you slow yourself down, be more present. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, to speak on that, was just like a lot of society, it's all buzzwords. So a lot of people think they are, but it's really our society that's is teaching these people to be more attention deficit.
Yeah, because I noticed myself, I do, I watched this video and I'm like, that's me. Like when you go into a room, you start doing something and then you like go into the other room and you remember you had to do this and you stop doing what you did over there. And then you like, that leads to the next thing, and then before you know it, you're like, I haven't even finished what over there. I got to go finish that. And so you go back to that.
Why are you smoking weed?
Only occasionally.
So when those things happen, because I've noticed that it exacerbates that for sure. I'll be like, wait, what was I doing?
So the reason I mentioned that is like for you guys, since you guys know you guys like have this, what are some of the green flags you guys look for in like a potential partner? Like what does that look like?
So like
to you guys, it's a lot quicker.
Yeah, because if you're your true self, I'm reading your body language and your eye movement and everything like that. So if I'm myself and I see you like kind of shift back or kind of like pull, and I'm like, oh no, I'm good. Like I already know that I'm too much for you. I make you feel uncomfortable. And that's fine. And I'd rather be myself and see that and be like, okay, had fun. We can be friends, you know, but there's a certain person that can keep up with me that I now know that otherwise it's going to be me running the show otherwise.
So just their body language right off the top, right?
And a lot of people won't even tell you they're uncomfortable. You see it in them and they're like, I know you're uncomfortable, but like, oh, I'm fine. And maybe they're trying to push themselves out of their uncomfortability, but that's not your job. Teach them and train them how to be more acceptable for people like you either, you know? And we might be like, oh, let me teach her, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, that's a red flag to me. It's like, you don't need a novice because you're already going to be made to feel like you're too much later on.
Okay. What are some?
I think for sure, someone that is comfortable being authentic, that's so attractive to me. Like someone who is confident and is just their authentic self. And it allows me to then unmask and show my true self to them. So that authenticity is a big one. Emotional intelligence and empathy are massive for me. I can't even be friends with someone that does not have those traits. So emotional intelligence and empathy, they go such a long way with me. And I think the last one is someone that can make me laugh and that doesn't take life too seriously, just because I do have a pretty chaotic life. And so I need someone that is not afraid to jump in. And
right. Someone that makes us not feel like we're problemed.
Yes. Like, yes.
Because we know we're problemed. Like
yes, we're aware.
Like we can really put on a great mask and really show great things. But when you see us on our moment to moment, day to day, that's where we fall apart.
Yeah. It's like behind closed doors. Yeah. I need someone that is, loyalty. That is a big one because fear of abandonment is a huge trait that trigger for me. So someone that is loyal and not just like in the cheating regard.
But it's the same idea. If you don't meet the role that they expect you to meet, they move on. And it's really annoying because it's like they build you up into being this pedestal of a person. And that's a red flag. As soon as they start building you up, I'm like, nope. Bye.
Idolizing you.
Yeah, if you idolize me and have stars in your eyes when you look at me, I don't want anything to do with you. You already put me on a pedestal, and it's already going to be an unbalanced relationship. Like, and that you start to see
this perfect person. So
and I'm not.
They see it crack.
They start pushing them. They put those insecurities on you, and that's one thing you learn is like people will be enamored by you, and then you see like that actually leads to more insecurity.
Well, that's. I find that very interesting. Well, because I wanted to get your guys' perspective because, like, I know what my green flags are, but just the way that you guys have been explaining, you know, your guys' dating life, how you guys get to know somebody. I was just curious, is it something, because you guys need to know right away.
Well, I would say getting older, you learn that other neurodivergent people are for you. my friends, my closest friends, my closest people, other people that are also ADHD and on the spectrum, or who I get along best with, because we give each other grace. We understand each other. We understand that these are parts of who we are, because we each do it. And it's like, it's the best feeling when I can be like, I feel myself get a little too energetic and gets away from me, and maybe I like overshare, and then that person runs off that and has a whole story and like goes off that, and we just build off back and forth, and it's just like energy just building off each other. Otherwise, it's like you bring this energy and they just shortcut it, and it's like they ground it. It's like, that's when you know it's like, if they build your energy back and they push it back to you, like that's great. That's a green flag. But if they just ground it and they shoot everything down, then you know it's like, no, I can't do this. Like, you're not going to make me feel lesser then.
So, I mean, I'm glad you brought that up. Has anyone ever made you guys feel like discredit your guys' feelings? Like,
everybody I've dated. Everyone I've ever dated.
And blame it on your ADHD.
Oh, no, they don't even necessily blame it on
blame
the
it on
ADHD.
something.
It's you. It's you and
The
how
problem.
you
You're
are.
broken.
You're
So they're
the
basically
problem.
blaming it.
It's not the illness. That has never been the case in their idea. Like, it has never been given grace in a sense. It's like, no, you are that. You have to control yourself, or else you will deal with the repercussions. But a lot of times it's like, we, no matter how strong we can be, like, we are the people pleasers that stay way too long. And we are the ones like holding our tongue, and we should say things, right? It's like all my things get blown up, all my relationships blow up later, because I've held my tongue for 3 years, because I'm like, I can get over that. But they can't let me go with the same kind of shit. So you have to learn to like, just say, nope, you have to be boundary up front. Like, from the get-go, if you divulge all of yourself, you see right then and there if somebody can handle you.
Yes. Sometimes I will actually, on a first date, I will actually just rip the mask off and divulge everything, almost like a test to see like, so like, what are you going to run from, and what are you willing to not put up with? Like, I don't want to sound like a villain, but like, what are you willing to be empathetic
We
about?
are a black diamond ski hill. Let's be real. Do not start this if you're a novice. Like, do not waste both of our times by thinking you can do this. Cause that's what we've learned, is like, we've gone down the roads where people think that they can handle us. And it's like, no, I've learned the body language that you can't. Don't waste my time.
Don't hurt yourself, honey.
Yeah. Don't hurt yourself, cause you will get hurt.
Like, when you've done that on the first date, has it worked?
Yes. Usually guys will be like,
oh
my gosh. And I think it's because they feel that they can be their authentic self. And so suddenly they feel like they're not getting judged and whatnot. So then they're just like enamored by you.
They look at you as this free spirit that can't be contained. And that is like so enlivening, like, just to be like looked at like that. Cause a lot of times you're looked at as like, what's wrong with you?
Yes.
And I'm sure it's been on the other side too, where they're like, yeah, I'm not going to do this.
I've actually never had
No?
someone say that. Every time
Well, they won't
they've
tell
like
you.
moved in with me. Well, I've only gone, I'm not like a dater type person. And so pretty much everyone I've gone on a date with, they've like moved in with me like 2 weeks later.
That's true. I've never gone on a date that I don't engage unless I know I can.
Same.
I'm
It's
gonna
a
win.
waste of my time.
I already see your body language, your eye contact. Like, I know if it's going to be a thing or not. And if like, you know, from the eye contact from the very get go. And like, if I don't have it, I'm not going to throw myself towards somebody that I don't. Why?
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell by their body language, like, even if they're trying to hold a conversation with you.
Yeah, it's just
like,
the way they talk. Yeah, all the little stuff.
Like, all these little things. And it also goes for, like, I mean, somebody who's not diagnosed with that is, I pay attention to those things. Like, what is is her body language telling me that she doesn't want to be here? You know, like, you can tell when, like, they're checking
Which
out.
that's very attractive when a guy takes the time to pay attention to the details. Because so many times you can figure anything out. If you just pay a little extra attention to the little micro expressions and details, you can figure a lot out. And so that, like, to me at least, that is another thing I look for, is a guy that like picks up on stuff.
The
Kinda
little
like what
things
you
like
were
that?
saying, just like the body language, eye contact, all that little stuff.
Yeah. And I've dated older and younger, like 5 years younger, 7 years older, 8 years older, same age. it's very interesting when you date around. Everyone's got their own pros and cons.
Yeah.
You know, I will say dating your own age has been the most rewarding because it's literally someone I'm going through the same thing, the same phase of life with. And you kind of have grace for each other. Whereas when you're older, they tend to look at you as like, oh, you're the young one.
They infantilize you. Yes.
They try to parent you sometimes. And I'm like, I'm not a child. I don't need a second dad. Like, I'm not asking you to do the correct me. Like, and that can be very aggravating. It's like they think they know more and they want to help you. And I get it. But at the same time, I don't need you to be my therapist or my dad.
No, makes sense. I had a question about your different personalities.
Okay.
Do they have names?
I have not named them, but some people do. No offense to anyone that does. For me personally, that just makes it feel a little too weird for me. So like my psychiatrist, we've had to do like exercises where I have to identify them. And so she has given them like nicknames, but I don't refer to them as such just because like when I start talking like that, then I start to feel like I'm like some like alien.
But have
or
you ever
something.
realized they're really just like other consciousnesses and within you, like at different ages?
Yeah.
That's what I did. I had to do that inner work, the shadow work, where I had like all these voices talking within me, and they were exactly that. I was like, I have different friend groups to engage with different parts of my personality, and they don't interact. They just like, I have like 6 different groups, you know? But then it's ended up being like, I did the family work or the inner shadow work, and it ends up being like the child you, the teenage you, the college age you, the adult you, and they're all these like consciousness of you at these different ages with different knowledge. It's so crazy. You literally have to dive in and talk to them. And it does make you feel crazy, but at the same time, I started to address them, and then I could feel them like absorb into one, and now I'm like one person. I don't know. It's weird.
I think
Everybody's on their own journey, but I totally feel you on that.
Yeah, I have always talked to myself out loud, and I always thought everyone did that, like when I'm alone. And apparently not everyone does. Like a lot of people talk to themselves, but not like a full conversation where there's like
loud.
Multiple people talking to themselves.
Yeah.
Like answering themselves kind of thing. And so there's like just little things where unless you were with me 24/7, but I still probably wouldn't do that in front of someone, even if I was dating them. Like it takes a couple years before, and even then you probably won't fully meet like every little side of me, just because it depends on the environment that I'm in. It depends on the person that I'm with.
Well, it's that constant fear of rejection.
Yes.
That if you're too real, that you're going to get cast out.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I think it is? I think it's Kaylee's the dominant one, and she's like, none of you guys are going to have a name. It's just going to be me in charge.
So my psychiatrist calls that oh my gosh, why am I forgetting the front desk person? Was the receptionist? Oh. He calls that one my receptionist, who just like handles
everything,
and yeah.
So speaking on that, do you feel like, have you ever ran into issue like, say one of your personalities didn't like somebody?
So before I was diagnosed, I would have this problem where I would be in a relationship, and then some days I would never admit this to them. Like I almost like don't even want to admit this now, but there would be some days where like I would look over and I'm like, I love them. I have love for them, obviously, but like I'm not really attracted to them. Or like I'd be like, they're like pheromones. Like I don't like the smell of them today. And I'm like, it wouldn't even be anything like that's their problem. It would just almost be like these little changes. Or it's like some days I'm like fully lesbian, where I'm like, I don't even, like, it's not a you thing, it's a me thing. But then the next day I'm completely obsessed with them. Like I want to wear their skin, like, and so it's very confusing, I guess but I don't voice it. So it's not as confusing for them as it sounds, because I usually keep those thoughts to myself. And so for them, they probably wouldn't notice anything. But internally, I do notice that.
that, I mean, I can't even begin to think what that would feel like. You know what I mean? Like one day you just, or
It's
later.
not like I hate them
Yeah,
where I'm
yeah.
like, oh, I'm repulsed by
It's
you.
because we're
Like, it's just slight
overthinking things
shit.
constantly. I feel like a lot of us,
never
we're
stops.
constantly overthinking everything, every situation, every outcome. And a lot of the times you like sicken yourself with like, you start ignoring you ignore the red flags, and then you start playing these scenarios out. You're like, wait, do I even like this person? And it really is like that. Sometimes it's like, why am I with this person if I keep calling them a fucking idiot or a loser in my head? You know what I mean? Like, you're like, why am I here? Like, what am I doing here? But at the same time, you're telling yourself like, part of you loves the person and part of you hates the person. And it's really tormenting.
But you know what's so like the greatest form of love that I've ever had shown to me was so my most recent ex, he was very good about, he would take the time he wanted to understand me. So it wasn't like me telling him like, here's how I feel, blah, blah, blah. Like, I want you to understand me. He wanted to understand me, and you could genuinely see that. And there was just something so, like, I guess, admirable or just, like, healing about that, I guess. I don't necessarily know the word, but to just have someone that, I don't want to say treats you like a, like, science project, because that sounds very demeaning, but to where they, like, care so much to where they genuinely want to decipher your brain and they want to know how you're feeling and how you experience life. That is like the purest form of love that I've ever been shown.
Well, yeah, because I mean, even if it wasn't for that, like just paying attention to somebody that much, where you're trying to figure just the way they tick, the way,
Yes, why
like,
do
what
you
they
do?
like,
Why are you like that? Yeah,
like that. I'm sure that's gonna feel like feels amazing. You know, like, oh, he paid attention to this. Like he actually noticed this, so I can see that. What about, since I know you guys have ADHD? Have you guys ever overshared something sexually at the wrong time?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I personally, not anymore. I'm very cautious with how I'm perceived. So I watch what I share and make sure it's okay. Even if it was okay, I don't overindulge sexually sometimes because I don't want to be ridiculed, I guess, because I can be very I'm into everything. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then like when I hang out with straight guys and they talk about like dicks and stuff all the time, I'm like, I don't know how to react to this. Because if I were to really react, you're talking about basic level shit. I could just literally, like they're talking about like, yeah, like I couldn't get hard. And I'm like, oh yeah, I had this fist up my ass one time. And I was like, and it's just like, I don't know.
I feel you on that because like if someone asks, I'll tell you anything, but yeah, I feel like most people aren't ready.
No, it's because like I would feel like, I mean, it even happens to me. Sometimes you're just talking, and then you're like, oh shit, I said that. Like I didn't mean to say that out loud. And I feel like that. I don't know if it would be worse, but it'd be harder to like.
I think I
contain
used to
for
do
you
that
guys.
kind of stuff in maybe high school, but then I got like, man, like you create the mask of your whole life that you get really good by this age. And 20, like no one sees anything you don't want them to see. Everything's curated.
Have you guys ever done anything like chaotic or crazy, and then later on afterwards been like, I can't believe I did that?
Always.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's great in the moment. And then you're like, wait a second, I need to go home.
Like, I don't know if you guys want to share an experience.
Well, give a more specific example because I think we have so many experiences.
Well, the reason I say is like, I'll use like being drunk, for example. Typically somebody who doesn't have this, like you start getting alcohol in you, you start doing things that you wouldn't have done normally. Like, for example, there's somebody who sent a message in saying like, I got drunk and I let my girl just eat all those get in the booty. You know what I mean? I would have never let it happen.
Well, yeah. First of all, anybody that says that has already wanted it, thought about it, and has finally let down their guard to allow it to happen. And that's the same with any kind of drugs that you use in the scene. It's like you have to use sometimes to let yourself lower your guard down enough to be able to enjoy. Like otherwise we think we're overthinking too much, and we need that third party interceptor to be like, it's okay, just let it happen, shut up.
'Cause to get a little bit crazier, there was a girl who sent a message in that this is how I found out what this was. I had no idea what it was. She got Eiffel Towered. I don't know if you guys ever.
You knew what that
No,
was.
I didn't. I didn't know what it was. I was like, "What is an Eiffel Tower?" And then I found out what the Eiffel Tower. I'm telling you, TikTok has taught me a lot of
Gays
things.
call it spit roasting.
Because I've never like if
Eiffel
there's
Tower is a little more ominous. Like you don't know what spit roast. You're kind of like, yeah.
because me involving 3 people is never going to be 2 guys and 1 girl. It would be me and 2 girls. So that has never been brought up, you know, because some girl was like, oh, my husband wanted me to Eiffel Tower. And I was like, what's an Eiffel Tower? And I looked it up and I'm like, oh,
Not in Paris.
yeah, that's an Eiffel Tower. So have you ever done something like crazy and be like, afterwards, be like, damn, I can't believe I did that?
Yeah.
We're both just like, yeah.
I mean, usually mine's in an orgy setting, I would say, and you're up all night doing drugs.
Yeah,
and
I was
so
gonna
you're
say
like,
usually there's heavy substances involved.
and then you're like, why did I do that? It was no reason. I didn't get any fulfillment out of this. I feel cheapened by it. I feel lesser than because I thought this is what I needed to feel better or fulfill myself. And really, I just feel not great for it. What I learned is like, I need to have a connection with somebody to build something or have a memorable moment. I can't do the random stuff. I can't do like, you know, just in the moment, like with somebody that's at a party. It's just like, that's just forcing myself to be a part of the crowd and thinking that this is going to bring me fulfillment when really it didn't.
I'm
I
glad
don't
you
get off on that stuff. Like one night, like just like quickie. If I don't know,
To
the
each
person.
their own. Like some people
Right,
love
yeah,
that
some
stuff.
people love that.
Yeah. And I don't condone or like don't condemn those people. But me, myself, I just don't personally like enjoy it. I need a connection with somebody, and doing crazy things with that person with like I have a connection is more fulfilling.
Mhm.
Yeah, because this is why I like sharing the old TikToks, because there's some great stories on there. And some people haven't heard them. Like another one that comes up is this girl had to do with drugs, and they were like loaded on something. And I guess they were with a guy, and this was like the biggest guy she's ever seen. Right. And then she saw the other girl on the guy being super uncomfortable. Like it looked like she was in pain and stuff like that. So she wanted to give it a try. And then afterwards she was like, why did it like, I had no reason being in that room, but she was in the room. She was loaded on some drugs. She wanted to give it a try, and it's like it didn't feel great. And then afterwards, she's like, "What was that?" I was like, you were probably loaded on."
But then again, we always love to take this victim mentality to take blame away from our actions. It's like, no, you still wanted to do that regardless of the drugs. The drugs allowed you the gateway to get it done.
You wanted that experience.
Those drugs did not give you the perspective of, oh, I want to take this dick up my ass. Like, you know what I mean? You've thought about that, and now your
Presented
confidence
the
is
opportunity.
up, and you're like, well, let's try it. When in Rome.
Yeah, presented the opportunity,
And then
here
you're
we
like,
go.
okay, that wasn't for me. And then you're more ashamed of the situation you did it in.
So-
You know, not so much that you did it, but like I had to use the drugs to get to this point. It really didn't do it for me because I put myself out in my comfort zone. But, you know, it doesn't mean that may not be for you in the right environment.
Yeah, they're trying to. It could be that she was saying it was the drugs' fault. It wasn't me that wanted to do it. It was the drugs. But like I agree.
Well,
like,
no, that's the thing. The drugs don't make you do anything that you don't want to do.
like you've already.
They give you
Subconscious.
Yeah, honestly, they just allow you the pathway to stop saying no to yourself.
Mhm.
They really just take that whole guard down, and where you would say, no, I can't do this. You're like, fuck it, let's go. That's what it is. No one's making you do anything you didn't want to do, unless they are. But if you yourself came to the idea, like that's usually like you've wanted to do that, or you've thought of it or dreamt of it, or, you know, and you're finally allowing yourself to do it. But that's why a lot of people do that. You know, they do all these drugs to get themselves in these fantasy positions. And then they're like, I don't even like it.
Mhm.
But that's fine. Then don't do it again. You know, that's fine. It's a learning experience. Like it doesn't cheapen you. It just says, this isn't for me. And then you move on.
Yeah, because that was crazy. The whole Charlie Sheen experience. Did you watch the whole thing?
I wanted to watch that. I haven't.
I watched the first half. I didn't see like the part.
You missed the second part where he talks about.
Yeah, it was 2 episodes, right?
Yeah,
I watched the first
he
episode.
talks about the other side of the menu, meaning like he tried both genders.
Oh, no, I didn't see it.
Yeah, because he talks about it was drug induced, but the guy asked him, he's like, do you regret it? He's like, no. He's like, it was something that happened in the moment, and like I don't regret it. It happened.
No, everything is a
He's
learning
like, it was
experience.
fun.
Exactly. And a lot of people love to define themselves by everything they do. And it's like, no, this is a human experience. It's a human thought. It's a human like curiosity. And you're not wrong for experiencing that, but if you keep putting yourself in situations that are detrimental to your health or detrimental to your livelihood, like high risk drug use, to get those kind of things because you're not okay with yourself excessively doing that, then that's what you got to talk to yourself about. Be like, hey, like this is obviously something I like, but I have a shame spiral behind it. And I need like a lot of gays do that. Like a lot of gays from I'm from Michigan, a very conservative place. They have to put themselves in that mindset of being fucked up so they can actually have gay sex. Because they've been taught Christianity or like ingrained that this is not okay from a very early age. Like I was too, but I'm just that person who was like, fuck you. I don't care. You don't pay my bills. I'm doing my shit. And a lot of people are not like that. They're very tethered by these constructs that were created for them through their society, and religion. And it's really sad to see people need such dissociation to be able to be themselves.
Just to be authentic, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad you bring that up because I have noticed that there's more and more guys that follow me, and then also more and more gay guys who follow me now. And also they get in the comments and stuff like that, which I think is great. So my question to you, like, what's something that you can like I have here that people understood about being gay that's not really talked about?
So what people don't understand about being gay? What people don't understand about being gay is that there's this underbelly of drugs and partying, like with everything, but it's the way you meet people. It's very hard because there's apps. Like you can't just walk up to some guy and be like, let's fuck, or like, let's hang out. Like you don't know. There's so many like, especially this day and age, there's so many like fluid guys that like maybe gay presenting, but aren't at all. It's a mind fuck. Like it's very hard to understand. You got to look for the eye contact, but a lot of people stick to the apps and the apps breed sex only and not relationships. And then it's just like, what people don't understand about being gay is that you can't just find somebody walking by you and be like, oh, I'm attracted to them. I want to go talk to them. Because most often than not, they're not even gay. So you have to go find somebody. And then your world is even smaller. And then you only know people based on going out or who you see on the apps. So there's so many people just sitting, not on any of those, waiting to be seen naturally, organically. And there's so many people in waiting, just waiting to be found. And it's like, if everybody's waiting, who's going to find somebody? And like, how do you find somebody? It's so annoying. It's like, how do you go out and find somebody if you're not going to a gay club? No one goes that anymore. It's a very straight thing. Like it's all like straight couples at the gay clubs. It's all very white, it's straight washed. And it's like, how do I find somebody that's motivated, doing their shit, busy with work, but is also gay, may like to party sometimes? How do you find that person? There's no like, it's Grindr or Sniffies, and it's all sex-based because guys are very sex-based, and it is hard. And a lot of like gay guys struggle with that. Like they have sexual needs and then they shame themselves based on going and getting those sexual needs met. And then coming back to saying, I want this monogamous relationship with this man of my dreams and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, we are very multifaceted, and a heteronormative relationship does not fit a gay person. We like to think that we can be like the straight norm, but we're far past that. We are so self-exploratory that we need to be open who we are sexually in order to be seen fully. So I feel a lot of gays that they don't think is sex does create a lot of who you are. It is your identity. You know, as in the straight world, like nowadays, like more and more threesomes and openness is happening. That it really defines who you are. You know, it is part of your identity. They like to say that, like, you know, identity and sexuality are two different things, but they are the same thing. They define who you are. You know, it is a huge part of you and how you operate and how you find love and how you are loved, you know? And so I think the main thing with gay people that's not thought about is that we are sexually identified. And through that, we find ourselves. And with a lot of people, they have a lot of blockages and exploring kinks and such like that. And there's so much shame wrapped around it that most gay people are just living in shame. They're literally just wrapped in shame, trying to present as normal. And so they get into these relationships and it's just like insecurity on insecurity and they just like explode. It's ridiculous.
Do you think that's why? Because there's a lot of guys who are married to women or in relationship with girls because they feel that shame, you know, but are gay.
Are you talking about down low?
Yeah,
Down low men? Oh, there's a lot of
Down
them.
low men are dangerous,
They're
I would say,
different.
in a
They're
sense that
dangerous.
they want both. They're split in their understanding. It's almost like that dual personality. That,
Yeah, let's talk about
like
it.
where
There's
they're
an
hiding their
epidemic.
true personality and they have this fake personality to make them more acceptable with society. But the more you ignore a part of you, the more it festers. And when it does come out, it's going to be more dangerous, more explosive, more intense, more all out. You know what I mean?
You're going to cheat on your spouse, most likely.
And it may be
You could
through
be
a
bi-
meth-induced
Oh, yeah.
situation because you're like, you otherwise can't feel you can be that person, but you need to let this out. And through that, you found this. And through this, you found that. And then all of a sudden, you're all fucked up, lost.
And sometimes it's even dangerous then for the gay men that then sleep with them because if all of a sudden this down low guy gets like some clarity and is like, I'm not gay, and then it can ensue violence.
And that's why
all
drugs are
this
rampant
stuff.
in the gay community is like, we have to break down this barrier that was built into us through our society, through our family, through our friends, through our environment that like, it's not okay to be who you are. And so a lot of people have to use to access this part of themselves. So it's just like,
Yeah, 'cause
it's a spiral of shame and dissociation and more shame. And it's ridiculous. And so many people I see caught in it. It's so sad, but they're just trying to be themselves. They literally can't be themselves because that first 7 years that was ingrained into them told them that they are not okay being themselves and that they are a terrible person that will die in hell because they are feeling this way or thinking this way. I've had gay friends from Michigan go straight, that Jesus found them and turned them straight. I'm like, girl, I know you're not straight. Like, you're just saying this. But that's what they're struggling so hard to feel acceptance that they are going that way.
Yeah. Yeah, because I get those questions all the time. Husband cheated, ended up being with another guy. Like, there was a crazy one. The husband cheated on the wife with the wife's brother, and then they got divorced and they stayed together, you know? But those are super common now. Before I started doing this content, I didn't really hear it, but now I hear how common it is.
It's also
people-
like one of those things, like you see a Kia Soul or something, and then you see all the Kia Souls. You know what I mean? Like, I've heard of this from a get-go, being a gay man, is like women would tell you, like, oh my God, the worst thing ever would be in a relationship with a man and then come out when you're 50 and you have kids and all this stuff. But the pressure on you as a gay man that's not out, that's not fully confident, is that you need to be this person that have a family because your parents, you don't know you're out, they will push this on you. You know, it just is. And even when you are, it's still like, you should get a husband, you need to have kids, and you need to fill the societal norms still. So I get why people from more conservative backgrounds don't feel like they can be themselves and have to fill this role. So they get themselves in relationships of marriage with women, and it happens. You know, it all depends where they come from. You know, and who they've been around and who's told them like gay is not okay, you know, and they want to be loved and accepted. So they beat that out of themselves or down into themselves. And then eventually it does come bursting out because they've ignored it for so long. Such as cheating. And then such an abrupt breakup, you know?
Yeah, I like how you gave that example of the Kia thing because it's so true. it's exactly like the red car theory. I don't know if you've ever heard that. Yeah, the red car
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, and you don't notice it until like it happens. Like if you tell somebody, hey, for those that don't know, if you're like, hey, on your way here, how many red cars did you see? And you're like, oh, I don't know, maybe like 2. But then you're like, if I give you $50 next time you come over for every car that you see, or every time you see a red car, I'll give you $50. You're going to pay attention to every single little car out there. So you notice. And some people use that like as opportunities come into your life. Like they're all over. You just don't see them. But once you see them, you see all of them.
I will say this with gays and children. It's funny that the age of gays coming out with children are younger and younger. When I was 21 working at the bar, they were all in their 60s, at least what I knew. They were talking about how their wives had died, or they retired and the kids are gone. So they finally came out. They didn't want to disrupt the family till the kids were gone. Now I know a bunch of 40-year-olds with like teenage kids and that had a wife and kids, but at 28, they broke up and divorced. And so I don't know how much, do you see a lot of like 20-year-olds getting into it? Or is it more of like the 30, 40-year-olds getting out of the relationships with the gay person?
It's usually a little bit older.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
because nowadays, no one's even going to, I feel, go down that route unless they're pigeonholed into it and saying like, oh, like, Mormon or like very ultra conservative environments where like you're going to be ostracized unless you fill the role. Mm-hmm. And I feel like otherwise everyone's like, nope, this is me now. If you don't fit my needs, bye. Mm-hmm. That's why everyone ghosts. No one's even given anyone the opportunity to get to know them, like to even reject them. That's the funny part. It's like nowadays people are like, oh, here's me. And if I don't feel fully engaged and absorbed and seen, bye, delete, block.
Yeah. So like, I also have a question for you because obviously I'm straight. Just dealing, because I moved to Arizona last year, August. So I've been here a little bit over a year. How is the other people, like straight people towards, like, do you get a bunch of, because I've seen the media where they're just like, they see someone who's gay and they treat them bad. For example, one time I was at downtown Phoenix. I went to US Bank. There's a lady there. Not trying to say, like, identify her. It looked like a guy dressed as a girl. Like, and I said nothing. I was like, okay, hey, thanks for helping me, and so on and so forth. But there was this guy who came in. He was just like, oh my God, here we go with this rainbow bullshit. He's like, I have to deal with all this stuff. And he was like saying it loud. So you wanted somebody to be like, yeah.
But it's straight homophobic too, because if you're projecting your internal world, once you learn that everyone's projecting, they're literally giving themselves away with every fucking word. You're literally like, why does this bother you? Because it's bothered you so much that you've had to squish it down inside of you. And now you see people living their life that it bothers you, that they can live. Yeah.
That's why he was offended.
Literally, if somebody's offended by somebody living their life, they are offended at them being able to live their life that they have not allowed themselves to live.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen that a lot here in Arizona?
Well, you can't always get it out of people. Right. But I will bring things up to people. And once they start shutting down and start short circuiting, you're like, I hit a nerve. I know exactly what it is. And it's so funny. It's like everybody projects. Just that is plain and simple. It's psychology 101 almost. Like, well, it's not 101. I wish everyone knew that. But once you learn it, and it's like you can understand who everybody is just by how they talk to you.
Yeah, that dude had no business. Like, he should have just went in, did whatever he needed to do, and just leave. Even if he didn't if he disagreed of what she was doing.
Wow, and why even notice? Who cares?
Yes, exactly. Like, just go and do your thing. And if it bugs you that much, there's other US banks.
That's what I'm saying though. If we really get to the core of it, is like you're ignoring what's bothering you. Why does it bother you? Because
if
somebody's living their life, or is it like that you feel that part that you can't live your life fully and they're living their life out loud, that you feel that you need to put them down because you feel so low in your life? That's really what it is. Mm-hmm.
So I got a question for you. Have you ever got feelings for a straight guy?
Yeah, I don't hang out with straight guys because I can't. Oh, because if there's straight guys that I've been drinking with and they're attractive, especially like Scottsdale people and stuff, it's so funny. Like, it's just like, yeah, I don't know how to handle myself. So I just hang out with gay people or girls a lot. Not even girls, like gay guys. Like, straight guys, they don't know how to handle on a partying level if I am attracted to them. Like I am a dominant person and I go for what I want. And I've turned straight guys before in the moment. And it's like, I know I shouldn't do that because it's also like pushing people. I don't know. They wanted it.
Yeah, it's not like you didn't have consent.
It's so difficult if you're partying with some straight guys and some of them give you eyes and like all this touch and connection. And I'm just like, your girlfriend's right there. It's so fucked up. Like it's such a mind fuck. They don't know what they want. They don't know who they are. So they start flirting with you because they're fucked up and they like the attention by an unattractive bigger guy. And it's just like, how am I supposed to present to this? So I just avoid it. It's like, why put myself in a situation of confusion when I can be around people that can tell me exactly what they want.
Yeah.
But then I've just like tried to ignore that. If I am in those situations anymore, I'm just like, I don't understand you and you're probably gay. So I'm just going to ignore you. Because otherwise I'm going to try to get you to go as far as you want to, as I want to get you to go. So I see it as a challenge. I'm like, oh, obviously you show interest.
I had that happen to me one time. Like, it was my sister's birthday party. And I'm cool with everybody. I don't care like which way you swing. If you like, it don't matter. Like I'm cool with everybody as long as you respect my boundaries.
Exactly. If you
cool.
respect yourself and other people, what the fuck's wrong?
And so he was as soon as he got there, he was like, "Is this when we kiss?" I was like, "Nope." And
so I totally get that because a lot of gay guys will put themselves out there and force themselves onto other straight guys, hoping that something will happen. Something. And I'm not that kind of person in a sense. I only did that in college. And that was more out of a bet. My friend I'd be like, because I was gay, I was like, yeah, I can get any guy, pick a guy out of here. I'll take him home. But nowadays I'm like, what's the point? Because they're going to be a basket case. They don't know what the fuck they want. After it's done, they're just freaked the fuck out. They're like, I got to get out of here. And it's like, now I feel cheap. And it's like not even worth it. And so, but a lot of gays will find validation through it. And they find it a game and they're like, oh, I got the straight guy turn. I got this. And I'm like, girl, you couldn't even get a regular boyfriend. Like you probably got that guy fucked up and caught him in a compromised situation. Like really, come on. And it really shows insecurity of the gay men.
Yeah. Cause I think he waited for me to start drinking more because this was in the beginning of the party.
Yeah. Men are predators. Don't get it fault. Like men, straight or gay, men are predators.
And then after I had a few, you could tell I had a few drinks. I was having a good time. It's my sister's birthday party. Right. And then this time he didn't ask. He was just like, this is where we kiss. And he like came in.
See, that's not okay.
And that's when I gave him the hardest elbow.
That's not okay.
No, that's okay.
Chest.
That's exactly acceptable because that's a girl getting creeped on by a guy too. Like, or another girl. Like if you don't want to get creeped on, you got to say your boundaries. If they don't listen, then you got to get forceful. You know, unfortunately.
Consent is consent. No matter what your sexuality is.
Consent is consent. Like, and I do say that does happen with a lot of gay men in straight world that they try to confuse the boundaries. And that's why I ignore it because people will give you mixed signals. And then you're like, oh, this is where we're supposed to kiss, blah, blah, blah. So I'm sure he's been in situations where it's been like that, but then they start thinking every situation can be like that. You know, it becomes a psychosis in a sense, or like that I can do anything when that guy gets drunk enough. I'm like, I'm validated because I can get this. It's sad, but.
Well, yeah, because I mean, he stopped after that because I told him, I was, hey, bro, I was like, I'm cool.
But that's the thing. As soon as you set the boundary, they will back the fuck off because they don't want to be ostracized. They don't want to be kicked out. They don't want to be disinvited. You know what I mean?
Because he never did that again. He never did that again. Sadly, he did end up passing away a few years ago due to alcoholism. So it wasn't like anything. He couldn't put it down at all. He was constantly drunk, but super great guy. Like I said,
again, a lot of gays in straight world, I've seen it. A lot of them are drunks because they try to live this dual life and they've had straight guys fuck with them in the past in a good way, in a sense. So they think they can keep doing it. That's how they're supposed to do it. So many gay men are so fucked up because they're trying to live both lives and they're trying to make it work. And it's like straight society is not gay society. And it is a subsect of society, unfortunately, you know? And it's very confusing. Like, how do you meet somebody? Like, if you're going to, like, put yourself out there, you want to meet somebody organically, how do you meet them? You hopefully thought you caught eyes with somebody, and then so you're like, oh, let me go try. You know, it is kind of sad to think about. It's like all you got is Grindr or these things that are just hookup apps.
Yeah.
And even after that, it's like a lot of gays will find reasons to stop. Be like, oh, this ain't gonna work out. They think they know the future and blah, blah, blah.
Do you feel, since you said it's a lot of sexual based, I'm sure there's a lot of cheating going on then.
Oh, yeah. Like, well, in a sense, depends. There's a lot of openness. There's a lot of open relationships. And nowadays, gays say they want closed relationships because everyone wants monogamy and to be chosen. But I think it's because of this idea that people want to be chosen. I don't know. It's very interesting. There's a big, strong pull towards monogamy, and I get that. To each their own. The gay world has become promiscuous in a sense that everyone does sleep with everybody. It is very promiscuous. Even if you are a and it's almost known that if you're married, that you're even more promiscuous. Like, you're open for sure if you're married.
Really?
Oh, yeah. If you're married, you guys are both sluts.
Dang.
If you're dating, maybe, if you're long-term, more so. It's like the longer you're together, the more you are open, because that, you can't be the person this person needs in every dynamic, in every way, your entire life. So it gets misconstrued in a sense. Like, it can get really carried away and very promiscuous, where you're in a relationship and they're both constantly on Grindr searching for somebody, and they're at a party together, and you're like, I think you guys are losing the whole.
Like, what's the point of being together?
What's the point of being together? Yeah. It's almost a business transaction. Like, we are a business. Yeah. And it's very odd. But like I say, to each their own. What works for you works for you. But I don't know. There's so much promiscuity that's in the gay community that there's a drive for monogamy to show loyalty because no one's loyal. I will say in all my relationships, someone's cheated. Like, it's crazy. Like, I've always found somebody else on Grindr or on apps or blah, blah, blah. Like, I will be loyal, but then once I find that, then I'm like, watch me go fuck around, blah, blah, blah. And I'll post out, I'll make sure you see
Now he's
it.
oiled.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, don't fuck with me, because I can do it too. And I'm not going to make me look like a bitch. Like, watch me go do this with anybody I choose. And I'm going to choose the hottest person I can find.
I love it. All right, so we've been going for a little while, so I'm gonna do I even had a rapid fire area. So whatever comes first to your head, okay? What's the biggest lie you've told on a dating app?
I'm unfortunately too honest. I don't lie. I just like share the ugly, good, bad, whatever.
I don't lie, because if you lie, it always comes back to bite you. And I've learned in my life that if I'm honest, I can always work my way out of an honest response. Like, well, you said this, and then, yeah. And it just gets rid of the wrong people.
Yes.
Yeah, by lying, you're only cheating yourself.
If your dating life had a warning label, what would it say?
Proceed with caution.
Be prepared.
Be prepared.
Prepare.
All right. Would you guys rather date someone who's amazing in bed but never texts back, or terrible in bed but replies in 2 seconds?
Oh,
Good in bed.
probably good in bed.
Good in bed? Like,
Because I'm a bad texter myself.
I'm a bad texter too.
all right. Would you rather never fall in love again, or fall in love every week and get heartbroken every
Oh,
Friday?
hell no. Never again.
Never again. It's such an emotional strain to
Especially
fall in
with
love, and
neurodivergence
then
and whatnot.
it is.
Like,
You
it's
learn to look for the red flags, because you give
traumatic.
because when you do find somebody, you do throw everything into that person, and it can be a lot. And then you're like, you have to take it all back, and you're like, fuck. And then you get jaded in a sense. Like, now I'm like, I don't even know these days. Like, I'm in a great relationship, and I'm not looking for anyone else. But I always think, like, an intimate one-on-one relationship like I had prior, it's not the same in this relationship, because they have each other, and that's their core, and I am the third. They try their best to include me and me them, but there's never going to be the same connection. You know what I mean? There's always that connection that you guys went through so much together. And I think that really plays into it.
Would you rather accidentally text your ex, "I miss you," or accidentally post your search history of
My
your
ex.
IG.
Oh, my IG.
So it shows who you've been creeping on.
Oh.
Still probably my ex. I feel like I wouldn't care. I'd text him.
Yeah, I text ex-friends and they still don't respond. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm glad I put myself out there. You know, it's on you now. I made the first move. And if you don't want to respond, you know what I mean?
Right.
What's the pettiest reason you stopped liking someone?
Literally for how they respond to things. Once I dismantle your logic and I rule you not worthy, I don't even pay attention to you anymore. Like you don't even exist. Like I'm just like, okay, bye.
All right, we're done.
Yeah, and it's pettiness is like you literally could have just like reacted to someone in a negative way, and I'm like, oh fuck, you're done. I already saw how you reacted to this person. I don't care anything else what you got to say.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it was petty, but I feel like other people would think it was petty. But like, if I really want to talk about the main trigger that made me file for divorce, it was because my ex-husband had asked for these other two girls' Instagrams. This was at our reception. We had gone to the club afterwards. And I saw that and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get an Uber home so I can file for divorce. And that's exactly what I did. So I feel like other people would think that's petty, but for me, I was like, wow, like this just shows a lot about you, what you're willing to do in the beginning. So I don't even want to be around for what you would do in 10 years type thing.
Yeah, because why would that night, especially that
On
night,
our
like,
reception night.
why
Crazy. Yeah.
like, that's crazy. I mean, I can see where it came from. All right, what's something toxic about you that you actually low key love?
I always keep it real.
Same. I was the same. Like just blunt, honestly.
If I learn something, I'm bringing it up and we are talking about it.
Yep. We will
right
have
now.
that discussion. I will double text, triple text, 40 text.
And I am
don't
so
care.
proud of myself for that because most people are too fucking chicken shit to even say anything about what they feel strongly about. And it doesn't make sense. And then you just create more toxicity.
What's an ick that instantly turns you guys off? No matter how hot they are.
Doting. I don't like people putting me on a pedestal. If people start treating me like a star or like this thing, I'm like, okay, get away from me. Like, I'm just like, you get away. Like, you don't know me and you've already like signed off on me. That's what I don't like. It's immediate ick. I'm like, ugh, you're never going to get anywhere with me.
This is a weird one. I think it's because one of my exes was an alcoholic, so I hate the smell. But when men specifically have like beer breath and they like in your ear, that is such a bad trigger for me. Like just like the hot air, the beer smell. I want to get violent. And sometimes I do, but like that is such an ick to me. Oh, I hate it. Like at the club when a guy just like.
This one's a good one. What's something you've done for love or lust that makes you cringe now?
So much. Oh my gosh. when I just told you that I send paragraphs, I wasn't joking. And so probably that, like I'll look back the next day, or not the next day, but like a year down the road when we're not together. And I'm like,
Paragraphs. I sent 30 individual text thoughts. Nonstop. I will go for an hour and a half having a conversation with myself. They will stop responding. And now I'm like, and another thing. They're not even, I got blocked and I'm like still going like, motherfucker. Now
I don't care if it says delivered like, or not delivered.
I will say once I get heated, I can't come back. I keep going. So the big thing for me has been like learning to not have the buttons to press and to keep saying, hey, it's not about you. It's about them. They're projecting. That really helps me keep me outside of myself and becoming the vicious snake not a snake, vicious, like, I don't know, like a Wolverine, like just attack. Like I'm gonna attack you face first, like Never physically though, because I will say as a big person, I'm always taken as very aggressive. Mm-hmm. So I've always leaned into my words. That I will walk away and just cut with words though, which is worse, I think sometimes.
Have you guys ever used sex to get out of trouble?
No, I can't fake it.
yes, I have a crazy story. I was human trafficked like 5 years ago. Oh no, it was about 8 years ago actually now. And I I don't want to consider it having sex. I was raped, but I went along with it to I gotta keep myself alive. I have like a whole post on my Instagram about it years ago, but it was a whole thing. Not to like bring the mood down.
No.
But yeah.
I mean, yeah, in a hostage situation, you gotta pretend you like it.
Yeah, I gave my best performance. Here I am.
All right, last one. Have you ever faked being in love just to keep the sex going?
No. Because it's no longer, the sex to me is no longer good if I'm not in love anymore.
That's true. The sex goes first. And then the love is like, what is this?
Yes.
I will fake being in love to keep the relationship going, though, even though the sex died off, because I think it can turn around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I mean, that's the last rapid fire. This podcast has been amazing. I learned a whole.
This has been you've been here for a minute.
I know.
I've learned so much, and this is why I continue to like love doing stuff like this, because I get to continue learning. I know nothing. I just give my 2 cents on these TikToks and stuff like that, and I get to learn from different perspectives, like being gay, ADHD, and I know there's a bunch of other ones that I don't even know of. But also the thing is that other people can relate, because every time I have a guest, they're like, I could really connect with this person. And lucky for you guys is that they also have a podcast where if you like how they are, go and check them out. Oh, what is it called?
The Unmask Podcast.
Unmasked Podcast.
Yeah.
And
it's all about unmasking yourself and living authentically, confidently you.
yeah. And this is what you're gonna like. You guys are amazing to talk to, having a great time. I never got a dull moment with you guys. You know how sometimes when you talk to somebody, you're just kind of like, all right, like this is it. But this was actually a lot of fun. We spent like probably like two.
I know, she
hours.
reset those cameras 3 times.
Yeah, so we've been talking for a long time, and I still had more questions. But the thing is, like, that's a long time. So we'll definitely have to do this again. And also, they also asked me to be on there. So go and follow them too. Check them out. Are you guys on Apple Podcasts, Google?
So right now we're on YouTube right now. We're figuring it out. It's been a slow go. We started in May, and we started with
Each
like
episode gets better.
That's how it should be. And because I know you guys recently started it not too long ago, right? So that way, like, they're still working. It happens with any podcast. You're working the kinks out, like which direction. My podcast completely 180, like what I was originally doing. I was originally doing like talking to business people and things like that. But as soon as the TikToks took off and the Instagram, I was like, why don't I just make the podcast longer form? So it's crazy. The numbers went from, I think I was about to hit 150,000 downloads doing the other stuff. And as soon as I done this, I'm like a little bit away from 1 million downloads, within a short amount of time. And just shows you how much like, okay, people like this. They don't like.
Yeah, you find your niche.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
like the hot topics.
And that's really with ours. It's like, it started as like this mental health thing. And it's kind of like stayed that as the lens, as like neurodivergent lens, but we've become like unmasking different things, honestly.
I'm asking different people, different things.
Yeah, different industries. It's kind of it takes its own form.
Yeah, and that's why you can't be afraid to like, oh, the podcast is going this way. But I think the best thing that they love is like the host. They fall in love with you guys and like where you take the podcast. So that's why, like, if you guys love what you guys see here, I love talking to these guys. So this has been a lot of fun. So we definitely probably gonna have to do this again. And I'm gonna have him on my TikToks, because I need to do. A lot of guys don't want to do I call it the Scarface heat, like hot seat. And so she did it before. And so guys really don't want to do it, but I've never done a gay guy. So if you're open to it, and they're like, trust me, like those, I had World Star repost some of my videos. Like I had a guest, and she got reposted on World Star, and she was like, can you tell them to take, I'm like, you think me saying anything to them is going to be like, hey, take it down? I was like, I think it got up to like 60 million views on theirs. It was about like rosters and stuff like that. And so I was like, it's all over now. I was like, there's no other like platforms took the video and reacted. I was like, it's too late. I'm sorry. But it gets like that. Like some of the reels, like some of hers took off too. Like, cause they love her. Just, they're like, why is she so like that? Like she expressive, she's like, somebody said, why does she have an evil laugh? And I was like, she doesn't have an evil laugh, but because I would ask her a question and she would just like, you know, when that moment pops in your head and it reminds you of this and you're just like, oh my God. Hers is overly, you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what works on social media like, and stuff like that. So definitely go check them out. I'm going to link their podcast, Instagram. What's the Instagram for you guys and the podcast?
So the podcast is the Unmasked Podcast, just all one word. And then I'm the Chris Unmasked.
And KayleeDey.
That's one of her. She has 4 other ones. So
That's the main one.
she has 4 other ones.
And I have many side quests.
Yeah, she has many side quests. I was trying to figure out the rest of the personalities. Like I told her last time, I was like, do you have a Patricia? And do you know Patricia, right?
Yeah, Patricia is the dark side that comes down and shuts everything down.
Yeah.
Me and Taylor used to call her alter ego Patricia. So funny.
She was like, no, like not that I know of. And I was like, well, in the movie she blacks out. So how did he know? And
Patricia comes through and cleans everything up. Or in our
I need a Patricia.
right.
But
Patricia, where are you?
I guess that's supposed to be the higher self, right? Kind of.
wasn't Patricia the bad one?
Well, she was the one that controlled. She had the master plan. She was like the nun or whatever. She'd come out. She'd be very
what are we talking
split.
about? Oh, okay.
When Patricia came out, she was like the one that the high priestess. She like controlled it. She had the plan for everybody.
Which one was the bad one?
I mean, they're technically all bad.
No,
The
but
beast, the
one
beast
that
that
wanted
came.
to hurt somebody.
That was the beast.
the evil one.
Yeah, he became like the beast or something, where he like climbed on the walls and stuff like that.
Crazy. You sure?
Yeah, they
I'm
come out.
joking.
That person comes out when you black out, when you white out.
I was gonna say that actually does come.
That's
I
it.
hate to joke, but there
It's
is
just
a side
like
of me
guttural, like destroy your enemy. It's crazy, and it's like you can't stop. And then you take a breath and you're like, oh, I gotta leave.
But hey, definitely check them out. Follow their social medias. I'm gonna link them here.
Yes.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for having us so
thank
much.
you guys for coming on and
you.
being so open. You know, and not being like, oh yeah, no, yes, no
Well,
questions.
thank you for asking the questions, though. Most people don't, I guess, care really about that side of dating.
Go follow them. I'm gonna link them. They have some great stuff, and you're gonna get these guys. Like this is amazing. I'm excited to see. So, anyways, thank you guys again for jumping on. Say bye to them. Say.
Thanks for having us. Hope to see you soon.
See you guys later.